Stand up, New York Giant fans. Baddog, we're about a little less than a month away from the draft.
Yes, and I'm going to say this. My vacation. I'm on vacation. Yee! I didn't go back to work till the 19th of April, so the draft is going to get here very soon. Because when you're off like that, I'll be back to it. It'll be the 19th before you bat an eye. It'll be the 19th of April, and then we'll be a week away, which will be great. So that'll be good to see.
Yeah, I can't wait to see how it ends up and everything else. Obviously, not a ton right now. Free agency's kind of done with. The Giants have made a couple of minor signings. There's actually a rumor that they may have mutual interest in McCourty, which he's more of a depth guy. I like they brought in the D tackle from Detroit. What's his name off the top?
Shelton.
I forgot.
Shelton.
Yeah, Shelton. Yeah, Danny Shelton. I thought that was a good signing.
Yeah.
Kind of an under the radar signing, which I think is going to help them in the future. But in terms of free agency, for the most part, outside of a couple of depth pieces, I think we know our team right now, and those are going to be the immediate impact players. And we'll probably talk about some of the needs that we feel like they have going into the draft tonight.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I just want to say what's up to Angel, Jameson, Waterfly, Card, Coach Brownie, Hot Nicks, Evan Spitzberg, Matthew G, Punkham, Dominic, Noah Timmermans, Kayla Dragon, Jake Rains, Aaron Bogan, Gary Gaston, Mike Moran. What's going on? Matthew Harewood, Blake Nona, Joel Yaddo, Diehard Giant. By the way, everybody in the chat, I want everybody in the chat to wish Diehard Giants fan a happy birthday. Today is his birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday,
Diehard Giants fan, happy birthday, everybody.
Happy birthday, my man.
What's going on? KP, Big Daddy, Queez, Christian B, So Chith, Manuel Hika, Royal X Provident, Andrew Boyle, Spencer Croce, J Dog, Brandon Block. What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for being here again. Kind of an impromptu. We actually didn't know when we were going to be able to do this. We were talking about Sunday because obviously the Knicks play tomorrow and Saturday, and the Mets are playing tonight. So because of what happened there, we were able to squeeze this in tonight.
Friggin' COVID, man. Friggin' COVID.
Yeah.
I'm all amped up for opening day, and one of the Nationals players goes and gets sick.
It's just amazing how it happened just like that, right? I mean, you freaking, you go all preseason, nothing. And then opening day there.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Craig Skiba, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Brilly says, stand up, boys. Happy to see you. Chris and Baddog, happy to see you. Happy to see all you guys and girls in the chat.
What's going on, Craig, man? Thanks for popping in, my man. But to go back to the offseason, kind of what to talk about. What do you think right now? List me your top 4 biggest needs for the New York Giants now after free agency going into the draft in order. What would you list as your top 4?
I still think offensive line is most important. I still want Kyle Pitts. Don't get me wrong.
I know you do.
I freaking love that guy. But offensive line is still extremely important because obviously everything is predicated off the offensive line, and I think that it's an underrated aspect, although as Giants fans, we realize how important it is because we haven't had one in years. And we watched it kill Eli at the end of his career. And we watched it kill Daniel Jones at the beginning of his career. So I still think offensive line is the biggest need. I think that we need, to get Daniel Jones some protection. I think everything will be able to work. You run the ball better. He's better protection, have more confidence in his throws. I just think that the offensive line is still the biggest need. Linebacker, I definitely would love Micah Parsons. I mean, we could definitely use an impact linebacker, a guy that is just all over the field to go with the depth at linebacker already because we're pretty deep there. And just to have a guy like that, it would be unbelievable as far as that goes. After that, I mean, it's really just a crapshoot. I mean, you could always use extra depth in your secondary. It certainly wouldn't help to have more secondary. And that's a new school way of thinking, having extra secondary depth. And honestly, I know we have a lot of tight ends, but there's always room for another tight end in Jason Garrett's system. He likes those 2 tight end sets, and this is why, again, I'm Kyle Pitts because, and I say this all the time, you can trade Ingram and save $6 million. I just feel like that is the move to make. I doubt Pitts will be there at 11, but there's a lot of mocks that have him going to 11 now, which is insane. But I guess that would be kind of the way that I do it.
Yeah. I'll let you get to these, and then I'll
Elizabeth, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Brilly, and Yankee highlights. Thank you so much. Brilly. We didn't have many highlights today. Yankee highlights. Just Gary. The one highlight was from Gary Sanchez. It really was April.
You had more highlights than the Mets.
Yeah, well, I'd rather have the highlights the Mets had today and not play than take a loss.
That's a good point.
And especially the way we lost with chances to win. And I don't want to get into that because that's a whole other show. That's a whole other show. Maybe we'll bring that. Maybe in the middle of summer we'll do that one night. We did that before. It's just aggravating. Harrison, thank you so much, man. Brilly. Give us Slater. I'll take a Parsons, though. I'm happy with either one.
Glad to see Harrison in here. Yeah, but no, to circle back to what you said, going into free agency, I was with everybody. I was with the party. Everybody wanted the wide receiver, and I agreed with it. Prior to free agency, I said wide receivers are our number one concern. And then we went out there. We got Ross. We got Galladay. Right now, I think after free agency, we lost Zeitler. Okay, and granted, the Giants have come out and said that they believe in this young talent, but I'm with you, man. I think our number one need right now is making sure we can protect Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones has been sacked 83 times and 26 starts. That's insane.
And he's mobile.
And he's mobile. Yeah. So, I look at it like, and I'm not saying we have to take an offensive lineman in the first. Like, if they're in love with Devontae Smith and he's there, and you feel like you get better value in the second at the line, have at it. But in terms of order, to me, I'm with you. I think it's offensive line one. I actually would like an edge rusher. That would probably be two for me. Unless, if we draft a guy like Parsons, he's kind of a hybrid. But I look at our defense right now, Baddog, and I see the corners are set. The safeties are set. The D-line, especially after we got Shelton, I think he could provide us that run stuffer. That's pretty set. I think we could use, if I could pick a position, I would say like a dominant edge would really help us out. So
I can't believe that's great. I don't even know how I missed that.
Yeah,
Just so you guys know, I've been really tired and thank God the vacations here. I told Chris, I sent Chris about the link 5 minutes before. I actually fell asleep. Thank God I woke up. I woke up at 9:50, so I'm a little out of it. But yes, I can't believe I missed edge rusher. That's important. You're right.
Yeah,
I didn't interrupt you, but I just wanted to agree with you.
No, it's okay. I'd go O-line one. I'd go edge two. And the thing I really like about Slater, by the way, that I read today, I didn't even know this. They say he's capable of playing the center spot. He could play all 5 spots on the offensive line. That's awesome to me. We talk about versatility all the time, guys that could go in, go out, and get hurt. Obviously, he's projected more so as a tackle or guard, but they said he's capable of playing all 5 positions. But I would say O-line 1, I'd say edge 2. I'd probably still say wide receiver 3 because I look at the roster now. I don't know if Shepard's going to be here long-term. The guy's a concussion away probably from retirement. They do save money next year on the salary, potentially. If they draft a wide receiver this year, maybe they can replace him. So I'd probably say wide receiver 3. And then after that, like you said, depth at other positions. Maybe we could draft a running back later in the draft, 4th, 6th round, whatever it may be. Yeah, something like that. But I think those are the 3 core needs. But the one thing that I really love from free agency, I think we left it saying to ourselves, outside of offensive line, there's not like a drastic need going into this draft.
Yeah, and I think that was why getting Galladay was so important, not just for a number 1 target, but it gave them so much flexibility. I can't believe I didn't think of edge rusher because that is definitely something we need. That would probably be my second need after offensive line is an edge rusher. I agree with you there. I guess when I'm thinking Micah Parsons, I'm just thinking about
well, he kind of is. He's a hybrid.
Yeah. Johnny, man, thank you so much. I really appreciate it, brother. You're the man. Brilly, he says, Stella, stand up. The Yankees stink. They did today. And the Mets are scared. The Mets are scared to play my Phillies. The Mets are scared to play my Phillies had a much-needed win. If Daniel Jones has a bad year, how far will it push back the Giants from progressing? That's actually a good question. I'll let you start with that one.
If Daniel Jones is not, if he say he does what he did last year, 11 touchdowns, 10 picks with the offense that we've provided him with, yeah, I mean, whenever you got to move on from a quarterback, it sets your franchise back at least 2 years because the guy that you're going to replace him with, because we know we're not going to have the money after this year to sign a free agent quarterback.
Yep.
So the guy that you're going to have to replace him with, no rookie quarterback generally for the most part is going to have a winning season when he starts. So yeah, if Jones struggles this year and he's not the guy, and maybe the Giants got to trade up in the draft to go and get a quarterback, if that were the case, yeah, you're looking at the earliest 2023 till the New York Giants are a competitive football team. There's a lot of pressure on Jones. There's a lot of pressure on Garrett, and there's a lot of pressure on Gettleman this year.
Yep. I completely agree. What I was going to say is the one thing I can say about Jones, if he does fail, obviously the quarterback, it's the toughest position to play in the NFL. But at least you would have something around that guy coming in. Yes. But again, a rookie quarterback's not going to – you don't know because Jones could stink and the Giants could be 7-9 and be drafted in the middle of the draft, and then you're not going to get a quarterback.
Kind of like Washington this year.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yankee highlights. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Brilly. Thank you so much. At a 5. Angel. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Says I would take offensive line in the first round, wide receiver in the second. And definitely nothing wrong with that. I mean, I am definitely a Rashawn Slater guy. No doubt about it. I prefer Kyle Pitts, but I'd rather Slater probably be my second guy. Although I wouldn't be upset with Waddle or really, they can't do anything wrong to me here at 11. They really can't.
Well, that's my mindset going into, like, I have my preference. My preference is the offensive line, and it's not because, obviously that's where I feel like games are won and lost. I don't hide that. I didn't hide that last year, but I was not going to be that way until I saw what they did in free agency. I was going to be about the wide receiver, but my first preference now is the offensive line, but it's not like that's set in stone for me in terms of the first round. Like, if they are, like I said, if they love Devontae Smith, okay. If they could take Parsons, I understand it. You go out, you get your offensive lineman in the second. There's a lot of good interior offensive lineman prospects in the second round. There's also, I'm probably going to have my 7th-round mock draft up tomorrow. I've been doing some research on later round prospects. There's some good edge rushing. A lot for a draft class that is not known to be top heavy at the edge rusher position in terms of the first round, which I agree with. I look at some of these prospects. Russo doesn't blow me away. Jalen Phillips is too big of a gamble for me with the 11th overall pick with his injury history.
Kwity Paye.
Right. Yeah, Kwity Paye.
From Georgia.
Yeah, I just think it's too early. It's too early.
Yep.
But there are a lot, and I'm going to, a little spoiler, I'm not going to give the name, but I am going to take an edge rusher in the second round of my 7th-round mock draft tomorrow. There are a lot of good, in my opinion, edge rushers in the second round that the New York Giants could take if they decide to go offensive line or wide receiver in the first. So there's decent depth there. I just feel like there's not top shelf talent.
This is the best part about being on vacation is I'm actually getting to research all this stuff over the next 17 days, and I'll have some mock drafts up myself. This is why it's good to have this time off now, because I really haven't had a chance to really look at anything past the first round. Now I'll be able to do all this stuff, which is awesome. Billy 500, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Billy, what nasty dog? What up? Dolphin Banger, what up? I see the moon and the sun at the same time. Chris, you still banned from SeaWorld? Pound. I love Pitts. Philly 500 is a man. If you guys aren't subscribed to him, man, he's one of the best Eagle fans you'll ever meet. I was on his channel on I think it was Tuesday. Always have a blast working with Philly 500, man. It's always a lot of fun. Man, if you don't like Philly 500, something's wrong with you. I know he's an Eagle fan, but he's awesome, man. He's just a lot of fun. And I kill your vibe. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Brilly says, must be April Fool's Day when Gary Sanchez is the best player on the Yankees. Give me Parsons, linebacker. Yes, I agree with the first part, definitely. What the hell? I put something on Twitter about April Fools. I said, why does everybody always do the April Fools thing on content?
I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
It's not even YouTube content. Somebody actually had a column saying LeBron James is out for the year. And I'm like, that's not really funny. And I'm like, are people really this desperate for people to click on it? And somebody said Gary Sanchez had a home run. I go, no, that's a funny joke. And I had my feed at work paused. So Gary Sanchez is up. He was just coming to play, and they said that, so I'm like, you're lying. And I'm like, oh, it's paused. And I looked at the score, and it was 2-1. I'm like, oh, he really did it.
As if we don't get enough clickbait content to begin with. Now you tack on April Fools on top of it.
But yeah, the LeBron James thing, I'm just like, come on. My Sugar Tits is trying to get me to make a video. I'm like, dude, I read that. I said to him right away, I'm like, listen, the April Fool's stuff's getting on hand. He's like, it's real. I'm like, it's not real. I read the article. It's not real.
Yeah.
Not real. You're not fooling me. I've been around. I'm old. Takes a lot to fool me. You got to get it pretty early in the morning to fool me. Craig, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Really. Chris, tell Baddog we need to work on that O-line. Kyle Pitts is Evan Ingham 2.0. He's getting picked top 10. Slater all day, baby.
He knows. Listen,
I agree with the O-line thing, Craig. I'm not willing to say Kyle Pitts is Evan Ingham 2.0. He's not.
I don't even agree with that.
He's bigger. He's got better hands. He's just as fast. Just because a tight end is a high-end prospect doesn't mean he's going to become Evan Ingham. If Evan Ingham could just catch the ball, Evan Ingham would be damn good. But that's the problem.
There's no way Kyle Pitts is getting to us. I mean, I've heard the Falcons are interested. I think the Dolphins could be. The Dolphins definitely traded up for a weapon because they traded back down to 12. If they wanted to go offensive line, they have to think it's at least remotely very possible that Penei Sewell won't be there. They could have stayed at 12 and either gotten Slater or Elijah Vera Tucker. They didn't trade up to 6 to get an offensive lineman. They traded up to 6 to assure themselves that they're going to get Kyle Pitts or that they're going to get Jamar Chase or whoever. So I almost put it at 0% that Kyle Pitts will be there when we pick. So for everybody hoping for Kyle Pitts, I'm sorry to disappoint you. I don't expect Kyle Pitts to
I don't expect him either. There's a lot of drafts that have him going there, though, which is crazy. Yeah. Jamar Chase ran he ran like a 4.3. I mean, he's going early. Well, the mock I saw the Falcons taking Pat Surtain fourth.
The mocks right now are ridiculous. Now you're seeing Penny Sewell. I looked at Mel Kiper's mock drafts are the worst. But I looked at Mel Kiper's latest mock draft, and he had the Giants trading down from 11 to 15 with Penny Sewell, Rashawn Slater, and Micah Parsons still on the board. And then he had us taking Joke from Notre Dame at 15. Yeah. If Penny Sewell's there at 11, I'm going to flip out if they trade down. Yeah.
You take it. Taking highlights. Thank you so much. Really appreciate the 5, Brilly, and Stephen Vieira. Thank you so much. I hope I said that right. Really appreciate it, Brilly. So my biggest concern about Daniel Jones is that he does just enough to keep his job, but not enough to make us serious contenders, kind of like what Eli did in his later years. It's understandable, but you hope, Stefan, with all the upgrades in offense, a year under Garrett's system, a full preseason, and the OTAs, the mini camps, the training camp, and then the preseason games, you hope that he steps it up. This is it for him. This is his season. He either does it or he doesn't. There's no excuses this year.
Yeah. What I'll say to that, Stefan, and by no means am I comparing them. I think Eli Manning is the greatest quarterback in New York Giants history, and I hate to compare the two because Daniel Jones has not earned that yet. But you could have said the same thing about Eli Manning 2 years into his career. 2 years into Eli Manning's career, you could have said the same exact thing. He's doing just enough to get by, and he's being carried by his great. I know we won games, but we had a much better team. The defense was carrying him. I'm not saying he wasn't a little bit more advanced in his second year. He was, but a lot of people still viewed Eli Manning as a mediocre quarterback. Let's put it that way. 2 years into his career. I'm not telling you it's definitive. I'm not, but I do want to give Daniel Jones a fair opportunity this year, and I think we're going to be able to do that, especially if we focus on the offensive line in the draft.
Yeah. And that's why I think offensive line is so important. I just think Daniel Jones, and I say it all the time, I just think he lacks confidence. And I think that if he's not getting knocked in his ass every time he drives back to pass, he'll have much more confidence. G Nation, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Brilly. So stand up, guys. Smash that thumbs up. Guys, they deserve it. Let's go, Big Blue. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate it.
What's up, G Nation?
And of course, if you haven't subscribed to the Untitled Talking Sports, well, you must be living under a rock. But if you haven't by any chance, the link to his channel is in the description. Make sure you subscribe to him because we do this show every week and we switch channels every week. We also stream all the games together. We switch channels every week for that. And of course, we'll be doing the draft together. You'll get 20 hours of Chris and the Baddog covering the entire 7 rounds of the draft. And you won't want to.
That's the closest thing you'll get to a 24-hour stream for me. So
right over the course of 3 days.
You guys ask for it all the time. There you go.
There you go. Well, you get one from me in 4 months. Jeremy, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it. Brilly, what up, buddy? It's been a while. Jeremy, I hope you're doing well. It has been a while, man. I hope all is well with you and the
fans. What's up, Jeremy, man?
But always good to see Jeremy around, man. So good to see you, brother. And like I said, I hope everything's going well and you're being safe on the road and hope the little one is in good health, sir. Good to see you. Great Cowboys fan.
What's up, Jeremy?
Cowboys and Eagles fans are good people.
Is that a Cowboys?
Yeah, he's a Cowboys fan.
What I know he is, but is that like is that a motorcycle? What is that?
I think it is a motorcycle.
That is pretty cool. I mean, I think it's got a Cowboys logo. I wish I had a Giants logo, but that's pretty cool.
No. We can't all be perfect. I mean, you're a Mets fan. Otherwise, you'd be.
That's true. That's true.
V-Man, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Brilliant. On a scale of 1 to 10, how dumb would it be for NFL teams to bet against Chris Sims's quarterback rankings?
Chris Sims has bowls, I'll tell you that, and he's usually right. A lot of times he had Lamar Jackson as the number 1 quarterback in 2018, and everybody laughed at him. This year, I like the Zach Wilson pick at number 1. That takes bowls. Almost everybody's got Trevor Lawrence, but I am a big fan of Zach Wilson. I'd still have Lawrence 1. Number 3, he's got Mac Jones, but
I saw that.
But the thing that's funny, a lot of people think Mac Jones is going to go 3 to San Francisco now.
I've heard that.
Yeah,
which is insane. I can't see him going. Oh, I can. That would be a bad pick.
I agree. You traded up for Mac. The guy's got a dad bod. You traded up for Mac Jones at 3 overall. You give up 3 first-round picks for Mac Jones.
Yeah, he don't even have a dad, or he's not even a dad. I'm a dad. I don't have a dad bod. Of course, I can't throw football like that either, but I don't have a dad bod at least. Oh, man. Pimp named Slickback, thanks so much. Really, Marcus Aldridge near triple-double Nets world. Well, sometimes going to a good team reinvigorates your career.
I mean, he's a good pickup for them. I mean, definitely adds depth to that team, and that's, in my opinion, that's the favorite to come out of the East.
I would think so. Unless Philadelphia gets healthy. I still think they would struggle with a guy like Embiid, but it's a big if.
Yeah.
Angel, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Brilly. He says Parsons will be picked between 7 and 12.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I Detroit is the first place I could probably see him going, but I think Detroit's going receiver, though. I'd be surprised if they take Parsons, but I'd give it a possibility, chance.
Yeah, especially since they let Galladay walk. I think that they'd be going receiver.
And Jones, too. Marvin Jones.
Right. Yeah, they let both of them go. That's right. Jay, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Brilly says, can't compare Eli and DJ, different eras. The NFL was tougher, plus Eli was under a 6-year contract. Jones gets until Thanksgiving to prove himself.
Again, like I said at the top of it, I wasn't comparing them. All I'm saying is,
I think he was talking to the other guy.
Okay, yeah. All I was saying was you could have said the same thing about Eli 2 years into his career, and he grew and got better. But I'm giving him the whole year. If some people want to give him till Thanksgiving, that's their prerogative. I'm going to give him the whole year. I'm going to give him a year, and at the end of the year, we'll reevaluate. I mean, what's our alternative? Mike Glennon? I mean, so yeah. I'm going to give him the whole year, and we'll see what happens.
Listen, I say this all the time. Number one, I'm a New Yorker, right? So I am tough. I am your typical New York fan. I love my guys to death. I will stick up for them. I will fight for them. I will whatever. I love them. I will cheer my heart out. I'll pour my heart out for these guys. But I will also be quick to rip them if I feel they deserve. That is just the way a New Yorker is. That is this entire market.
Yeah.
Fans boo. Fans get pissed. Fans want to win. Fans want to cheer our team. But, man, if you don't perform here, it's a tough place. It's a tough market. It's New York in general. That's just New York. It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So it's not like I want to rip Daniel Jones. I want to cheer for Daniel Jones. I want to be wrong about Daniel Jones in the worst way.
I think we all do. I think 95% of Giants fans were hoping they were wrong on draft night when we took them.
And me, I got a little too far ahead of myself with him. I did. I expected big things from him, and I think the fact that he had such a poor year kind of aggravated me because I seen him have opportunities to win. This is the one difference I would say. You could tell early on Eli had it as far as when we needed a drive, he got it. You know what I mean? He didn't have a lot of those opportunities at the beginning of his career, but when they were presented to him, he did take advantage of it. Daniel Jones has seemed to falter.
Agreed.
He's had those opportunities. And I think that is the most glaring omission to me is that Daniel Jones hasn't proven that he can put the team on his back on a last-second drive and get the W. Now, in Philadelphia, the first game, he did that. He was let down by Evan Engram. But you can look at the Bears game. You can look at the Rams game. You can look at the Bucs game. He had the last year's Bucs game. Rookie Bucs game, different story. He's a different quarterback. He was just playing.
I agree with you. And I'm not trying to make excuses. However, and again, I don't think he's Eli. I hope he's even close to what Eli was, okay? Eli Manning had Plaxico Burress his second year. Yep. He had Tiki Barber his second year. He had a much better offensive line his second year, and he was in the second year of the same scheme.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't have a pandemic to deal with, and no training camp and no preseason. So all I'm saying is, now we got him as Plaxico. Not saying Galladay's going to be as good as Plaxico, but we got him as Plaxico. We got him as Tiki Barber back, who didn't play all of last year.
Yep.
And let's see if this offensive line grows, and let's give him the second year in the scheme. And if it doesn't work, we're restarting again. So hopefully it does work.
Absolutely. Jeremy, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it, brother. Brilly. This is good to see y'all's guys. Y'all are awesome, Jeremy. Appreciate that.
What's going on, Jeremy, man?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Giorgio of Fantasy Football. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Brilly says you guys inspired me to create my own YouTube channel. You guys are awesome. Remember the 2011 seasons? We might have a sneaky SB run on our hands. That'd be amazing. But I'll let Chris answer that in a second. Man, I was just going to say, that's one of the best compliments anybody can pay us is that we inspired you to start a channel. So thank you for that. That means
man. I appreciate that, man. Like Baddog said, man, that's the best. Whenever anybody says I inspire them to do anything, I'm like blown away. I'm like, really? But but no, man, I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. As far as the 2007, 2011, I mean, that's the highlight of my sports watching life. I'm a Mets fan and a Knicks fan. 2006, I always say it. I don't care what the Mets do. I'll be overwhelmed with joy if they ever win and what the Knicks do. But I don't think anything is ever going to top that 2007 season for me, whether it's the Giants, Mets, or Knicks. What they were able to do that year, it's beyond insane. To me, it's the biggest upset. I'm not even just talking about the Super Bowl, just that entire playoff run. That will never be duplicated again. That was incredible.
Yeah, I can tell you as a Yankee fan, I got spoiled. And then all of a sudden you become jaded. This way. When you're a Knicks fan, you just kind of accept it. You don't have any choice. I mean, I'm old as hell. They haven't even won in my lifetime, but the Yankees, I got spoiled, and now I'm jaded because they won one in the last 20 years, and it's like, what the hell are you doing? So this is what happens. And the Giants, same thing. I got spoiled. I mean, I started watching them in '84. From '84 to 2011, they were in a bunch of playoffs. They were played in 5 Super Bowls, and now, it's kind of like they've fallen off. So you go from the highest of the highs to the lowest of the lows.
Yeah.
So it's difficult. But, I mean, I still love my team to death, but I love them too much sometimes. I really do, and that's why I overreact a lot of times. But, hey, that's just me. That's part of my charm. I overreact. It's just my personality. You can ask my wife. I overreact to the dumbest things.
Yeah.
I overreact to knock a glass over. I get really mad at myself. There's no reason to. It's just my personality. That's just how I'm wired differently.
That's you, my man. That's you.
Hyper. Anthony Razza, thank you so much, Paisano. Brilly, man. He says, drink up. I got a good beer tonight. Omegon, man. It's from the Hall of Fame right there. It's from Oneonta. Nice. He says, drink up. No agenda this time for Giants fans. Leaning towards Slater at 11 myself, even though like Baddog, I want Pitts.
Well, I think it's like last year. I think it's a very similar situation to last year where, Baddog wanted Simmons, but I think last year there were a lot of fans that were like, yeah, we should take the tackle, but I want Simmons.
Yeah,
I think it's the same. I think it's similar this year. Yeah, where a lot of fans are like, yeah, we absolutely should take the offensive lineman, but I want that toy.
That's me.
Yeah.
You should take Slater, but I want Pitts.
Yeah.
So I think that's GM.
Yeah.
I think we take BPA at 11. I think that's what they're doing. Michael Mooch, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Really can't wait to watch games with you guys again. We can't wait either.
You and me both, Michael. Can't wait.
This is going to be a good year.
Oh, yeah.
Why can't I show that?
Uh-oh.
All of a sudden, there it goes. That was just weird. All of a sudden, it was there. Dylan Alice, thanks so much. Really wanted to take a 20-minute nap. Woke up 5 hours later. Yeah, luckily for me, I did wake up because I woke up, I looked at the clock. It was like 9:49. I'm like, oh, God, I got to get downstairs. I got to send him the link. Luckily, I had this thing set up already. So I didn't have to worry about that. I don't think I missed it. Okay, we're good. There.
Next should be Zig.
Yeah, getting there right now. It's just with the StreamYard the StreamYard thing. I missed sometimes. Zig, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Really, my good man. Look at the Giants. He says, should we trade some future picks to get another first rounder? And who do you think we should trade with, and who would you get those said picks? I'll answer that real quick, Zig, and then I'll let Chris do it because Chris may have a more elaborate thing. But what I'm going to say is at 11, and we've talked about this before, usually when teams are going to give up a first-round pick, it's for a quarterback.
Yeah.
It's hard when you're picking 11 for a team to give up a first-round pick to jump up to that spot to say, we really need this guy at 11. Yeah. If there's a quarterback there, say – it's not going to happen, but let's just say Justin Fields, for whatever reason, falls to 11.
It's possible.
And New Orleans wants to jump up there and take him.
Yeah.
Then maybe New Orleans does give up their first-round pick next year. But
that's the only way it's happening. That's the only way it's happening. It would have to be a dramatic drop. You're not getting a first from the Patriots, who are at 15. You're probably not getting a first from the Bears, who are at 20 or 21, maybe 2 seconds. You would have to drop to the back end of the first round for something like that to happen. I just don't see it happening. Like you said, I don't think Fields will be there. And I don't think the Giants, another thing I want to say, I don't feel comfortable dropping to 25. I don't care if we get another first round pick. The New York Giants have accelerated this process now. The New York Giants have taken a win now approach. You don't spend over $100 million in free agency to be like, oh, let's think towards 2022.
Yep.
So I'm not willing to punt down half a first round so I get a future first-round pick. I think the New York Giants are trying to accelerate the process, and I think they're trying to find out what they have in Daniel Jones. So unless it's a smaller trade down to like 15 with the Patriots, we're not getting a first-round pick, and I wouldn't trade that far back. I think the Giants need to get an instant impact player with this first pick, whether it's on the line, whether it's a wide receiver, whether it's an edge, whatever it is. They have to get somebody that could help them day one. So I'm not for trading that far back.
Yeah, that's a great point because we're not rebuilding. At this point, we're coming out of a rebuild. And we do need impact players at this point because, like I said, we accelerated the process by spending $100 million on free agents this year. So really, like the Eagles are in a rebuild, so they're trying to stockpile picks. It makes sense. For us, unless you're blown away by a deal, it'd be really, really difficult, I think, too. Johnny, man, the Phillies Ace, thanks so much. Really, really, really appreciate this. Baddog Chris, I know you guys are not sold on Hurts. Do you think he's like Tim Tebow? He had accuracy issues. Is there any way he can be a success? I think he's going to be better than Tebow, but I still don't. He's going to have to prove me wrong, Johnny. And again, people can sit there and use all the statistics they want and try to skew everything. I had a guy in Philly 500 stream seriously write a 3-page novel telling me why I'm an idiot because I don't like Jalen Hurts and comparing him to Russell Wilson. Say, what'd you think about Russell Wilson? I said, Russell Wilson had nothing to do with Jalen Hurts. I didn't watch Russell Wilson every game at Wisconsin. I watched Jalen Hurts every game in Oklahoma, so I know what kind of quarterback he is. I don't like him. It's just my opinion. I think he has accuracy issues. I don't think he's an every-down quarterback.
You think? You think he has that? The guy had a 52% completion percentage.
I know.
And I'm not saying he can't mold into something, but it's far from a sure thing. And to compare him to Russell Wilson is just ridiculous.
Yeah. Not that Johnny didn't do that. The guy.
No. I know Johnny didn't do it. Johnny didn't do it. But hey, maybe he works out. As a Giants fan, I was hoping that you guys would not take a quarterback in this year's draft because I personally do not think Jalen Hurts will be the answer. And word came out that the Eagles were trying to get a quarterback.
They did.
Word came out that they were trying to trade up for Zach Wilson, and it didn't work out. So
they don't believe in him either.
If you ask me, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Jalen Hurts. I don't think he'll be the long-term answer there for the Eagles.
And again, that was my thought before the Eagles drafted him, John. That's not because the Eagles drafted him. I mean, I said this last week, and I said to anybody, you can go back and look at any of my streams. I talk about Jalen Hurts. I say he's a fourth-round talent. And I didn't think he'd be a good NFL quarterback, just as a guy that watched him every game in Oklahoma. And that's why when the Eagles took him, I laughed the way I did. Because I was like, that was a terrible pick.
Yeah.
Now, it may work out well for you, but I just, like I said, he's got to prove me wrong. Michael Sachs, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Really, really off topic. See the Jets put out season ticket information. They had Sam Darnold. No, I'm reaching.
I'm assuming you mean on the ticket.
On program, probably. I would imagine.
You're reaching.
Yeah, I mean the Jets. Sam Darnold may still be there, but the Jets are taking Zach Wilson. I don't. Yeah. I don't see how they're not, unless the Jags decided to do that, and then Trevor Lawrence is there. They have
to take a quarterback, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think they can mess around. Philly Talk Podcast. Thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Really, really. Just saying what's up. Giants stink. Use Cool. Thank you, buddy. You're going to be on that channel on.
I was on the channel today.
Oh, today. That's right.
It was at 5:30 or so. I had a great time. We had a really good conversation over there. Defended the Giants the best I could, man. But good to see you, buddy.
Yeah. I'll defend the Giants. Listen, I was in Philly. I saw a dire Giants fan say this in Philly 500 stream because I was, I'm taking on the whole league. I saw a dire Giants fan say Baddog can take on this whole chat because I just hate the Eagles. Bobby! Thanks so much. Really, really?
Bobby! Everybody say hi to Bobby. Bobby!
Says, hi, Baddog and Chris, my friends. What is going on, Bobby? Always good to see you, Bobby. Bobby! Bobby's a ladies' man. Pimp.
Love Bobby.
Jesse, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Really, really. You guys doing a draft party? Can't wait. Whee! Hell yeah. 20 hours of Chris and the Baddog.
Of course we are. You know we are.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm taking a day off on April 30th. I'm taking a personal day because I am planning on drinking during the draft.
Six pack?
Yeah, or 4 pints.
Yeah, that'll work.
4 pints is like 5.5 beers. It's pretty much the same.
That'll work.
Maybe I'll drink 4 of these, 4 Allagashes, 4 Heineken, whatever. We're gonna drink. It's fun. It's a fun night.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not Friday night because we got to be at noon on Saturday, in 7 hours. But I can sleep in on Friday and the next day. Jay, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Really, really. Says, I know you guys have both been called Jones haters, but you guys keep it real. We're the Giants. We have a winning history and we have high standards. Yeah.
I have been. Anybody that calls me a Jones hater is just ridiculous. And Baddog as well. He's emotional, whatever. But yeah. I've been as fair as I could be with Daniel Jones. I'm not going to come out and tell you he's the second coming of Peyton Manning. That's just, I'd be lying. But I do think he could be good if he gets the right pieces, but I'm not sold on it. I got to see it first.
Well, listen, I'm reactionary, and I say that all the time. I'm just a fan. That's all I am. Like I say it all the time. I'm not on YouTube to be an analyst. I'm not on YouTube to break down film. I'm just here to give my opinion. And yeah, sometimes I really do. I just told you, I'm that way in life. It's not just here. It's in life, not just with sports. It's just the way it's my personality. But I think anytime you are honest with your team, you're going to be called haters, because if you don't pump everybody, some people want you to pump up the players no matter how good or bad they are. They always want you to compliment them, and that's just not my way. So you're going to be labeled as a hater sometime, but what happens, some people are going to label you a hater, but you're going to get a lot of respect from outside your own fan base, because people will appreciate, hey, this guy's a Giants fan, but at least he's being honest. He's giving his honest opinion about it, somebody. And that's all I've ever tried to do is be honest. Not trying to just kiss everybody's ass so everybody likes me. I just give you my opinion. Some people don't like that, but it is what it is. I'm not going to change. It's just who I am.
Yeah. I saw somebody say that we were Jones haters on draft night. I guess
that's
I didn't like the pick. So yeah, but you could have said that about everybody in this chat minus about 10 people.
You could have said that about 12 million people in New York that night?
Yeah, but once he was a Giant, and I said, all right, I'm going to give this guy a chance, and that's what I've tried to do since he's been here.
Yeah. That's what it is. Yeah. AP, thanks so much. Appreciate it, my man. Really, brother, one of the best scenarios, trade back and get AVT, then use the second rounders to build the team, or trade up to take Phillips. Also, thoughts on Phillips?
To me, Phillips, AP, and I know Nate's in here. I saw him in the chat, and he's a big Phillips fan, Jalen Phillips. Listen, Jalen Phillips is the most talented edge rusher in this draft. It's not even a debate. The guy was the number 1 rated prospect in all of football coming out of high school. Not just at his position, in any position. Quarterbacks, running backs, edge rusher. The guy had a great pro day. The guy had to medically retire from football. In 2018, he had 3 concussions in the same year. He's had a severe wrist injury. I don't care how high his upside is. In my opinion, at least, you can't take that big of a risk in the first half of the first round. Can't do it.
Yeah, you don't want to have that. You don't want to lose that guy. You can't waste an 11 pick. We're not that good where you can say, whoops, we missed.
Yeah.
We can't miss. We can't miss with these guys. You're dissing. We haven't seen the best of Barkley and Jones yet, and that's why we've struggled. We see the best of those guys are going to be good, but you can't have a guy that's not even on the field. That's what's happening to Barkley, unfortunately. Because no matter how good you are, you're not helping a team if you're hurt. So that would be a really big risk. Caesar Man Sill, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. He says, got to protect Jones, draft O-line first, defense second. I got no problem with that.
Yeah. I don't like to. Yes, in a perfect world, that's what I want to do. But you want to leave yourself open in the first round. If there's a player that offensive line in one of the first 2 rounds, I'll say that.
Yeah, we got over 600 people in here. I just want to say again, thank you so much for spending your Thursday evening with Chris and the Baddog. We always appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button. That always helps out the stream. So smack that thumbs up button. That's free to do. It doesn't cost anything. It helps out the stream. Also, make sure you go into that description. Link to that man right there, Entertainment Talking Sports. His link is there. And sub him up because, again, we do this show every week. So if you just happen to be new to the channel, you can also sub my channel up too. But if you happen to be new, we do this show every week and we alternate channels. And, of course, we'll cover the draft together. We do Giants games together. We always have fun. So I just want to say thank you, guys and girls, again, so much for all your support. It is awesome. Wait till we're good. We are going to be good. It's going to be fun this year.
This year, we're gonna be talking a lot of smack this year.
Yeah, that's going to be – I do that really good. So I'm going to have a lot of fun this year. NFC East, yeah. Zig, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Really says, guys, I meant trading a 2022 or 2023 pick to have 2 first-rounders this year. Oh. Gotcha.
So you mean trading up from 42 into the back end of the first? It's circumstantial, man. It depends on who's there. Name the prospect. But yeah, if there's say we go O-line in the first, and let's just say Rashad Bateman is dropping, a guy that a lot of people feel should be a top 20 pick, and he's there at 29. And you got to give up a future first. If you think Rashad Bateman is, an elite wide receiver prospect, yeah, maybe. I mean, it all depends on who falls and who's there and whether or not you think they're worth that. But what I'll say is, if you're giving away a future first-round pick, that's a big risk, because what if Jones gets hurt? What if, that might be a top 10 pick. You don't know. So, Me personally, unless it's for a quarterback, I'm not giving up future first-round picks. Unless it's for a quarterback, I'm not doing it.
Yeah. No, that would be tough. That's a great point, because if Jones does get hurt, we need a quarterback. If Jones goes down and we finish 5-12 and we're picking 6th or 4th, you might need a quarterback, and you're not going to pick one if you're giving that away. So let me look at the Texans. I mean, they gave away their pick. They ended up picking 3rd.
Yeah.
And now they got all this Deshaun Watson crap. You don't think that they wanted that third overall pick?
Yeah.
They used it. That guy, Jose, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Really. Can't wait to prove the doubters wrong. Go Giants. Still plus 460 to win the division. I'm going to take it.
I got to bet that. I don't bet, but I'm going to bet that. Those odds are too good.
I'm going to throw $100 on it. To hell with it. Let's go.
Those odds are too good.
460 to win the division. I know the Cowboys are going to be tough, and I know Washington's going to be tough, but I still think the Giants can win this division.
They should have won it last year. Why can't they win it this year?
I don't know. Well, Dallas should be healthy.
They improved a ton, more so than anybody else. I mean, you could argue Dallas because they got Dak back.
Well, until Washington can beat us, they don't scare me. But Dallas still worries me. I don't know if there's any Cowboys fans here. That stays here. Don't tell me.
We're right in the thick of it. We're right in the thick of it.
Yes, we are. Dylan, Alex, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Really says, yes, my favorite mafia boss and librarian. I don't know who's who, but.
Well, I would imagine I'm the librarian, because I can't picture Baddog as a librarian. He'd be fired from his job on the first day with all the yelling. You got to be very quiet in a library. So.
This damn Dewey Decimal System, get out of here! Stupid analytics! Why is that book there? It's not supposed to be there. You're right. I wouldn't make it 2 minutes in a library, Chris.
Yeah.
I'd have my picture posted on the wall. Don't let this man within 10 feet
of a library. You probably can't even go in a library right now.
You probably can't.
Yeah.
Thank God for Kindle. Jay Bird, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Really, my man. There's no way the Giants paid Golladay all that money just so Jones has no time to get him the ball. Plus Barkley, O-line round 1 all day. Like I said, I want Pitts, but I definitely agree that that's their biggest need is offensive line. I agree. Like Chris said, last year I wanted Isaiah Simmons, but I was extremely happy with Andrew Thomas. I was extremely happy with Andrew Thomas, and I will be just as happy this year. Oh, God, I hope I didn't miss any here. Johnny the Eternal, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Really says, Baddog, in the privacy of your home, did you have the stomach to try on the Allen jersey? And if so, did you feel the power of the Eagles green? Johnny, completely honest, I have not tried on the Eric Allen jersey yet. I did make the bet official of Philly 500 on the stream, though. For those of you who don't know, the Phillies Ace bought me an Eric Allen Eagles jersey. He's my favorite Eagle of all time. And I always love those old school Eagles jerseys. If the Giants beat the Philadelphia Eagles, the first game we play, Philly 500 must stream in Giants jersey or Giants shirt. If the Eagles win, I have to stream the Giants-Eagles game, the second game, in that Eric Allen jersey.
Oh,
that's the bet.
We don't got to worry about that.
No, I don't think so. I hope not. So, no, Johnny, I have not. That's the honest God's truth. But maybe someday I will, because I hate the Eagles, but that's a cool jersey. I'm not going to lie. Pistol Pete, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Really says, agreed, Baddog. Appreciate it. I want to share. Hey, thank you, buddy. I'm glad somebody appreciates it, because a lot of times my opinions ain't very popular. But what can you do? Everybody's a critic sometimes, you know. Speaking of mafia bosses, Abe Capone, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. He says, put some respect on DJ's name. I think DJ's floor is Matt Ryan, to be honest. He's the best deep ball thrower. Get him Jalen Waddle, and he's throwing 45 touchdowns. That's a hot take.
I hope you're right. That's all I'll say to that.
I hope you're right, too. Floor Matt Ryan? I hope you're right. Because Matt
Ryan's a borderline Hall of Fame quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. Because when he came out of the draft, they were saying his ceiling is Ryan Tannehill.
So, yeah, I hope you're right. I hope his ceiling is Matt Ryan. Yeah. To be completely so, it's a floor Matt Ryan. I'd be perfectly happy with that. Yeah.
And Solo, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Really. Rick Saratella on Giants Insider said Parsons has more in his past than what's been reported. It could tank his stock. Have you heard this? I haven't.
Yeah, somebody told me about it today. I didn't get a chance to read the specifics, but I forgot who it was. Somebody told me about it today, or I read it. Maybe somebody on Twitter added me about it. But yeah, I didn't get a chance to dive into it. But yeah, I've been hearing that all along the draft process that there's been rumors that teams have taken him off their draft boards. He's going to be a weird one on draft. Now, let's put it that way. He's definitely a guy that I'll have my eye out on. And if he starts to drop, then you'll come to your senses. You'll be like, well, it's because of the red flags.
And Randy Moss.
Yeah, I don't think we'll take him. I don't. And, as much as I'd like Parsons as a Giants fan, I think he could make our defense like the best in the league. He's kind of that missing link. If there's any legitimacy to these red flags, knowing the Giants, knowing the Baker thing, knowing Judge, I don't think we'll take Micah Parsons.
I agree. Irish Rover, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. My man, Brilly says, I respect both your opinions and enjoy both your streams. But together, you the guys. Go Giants, go Big Blue. You're the man.
Appreciate that. What's going on, buddy?
I say it all the time. This is my favorite show, man. Every time we do this, and I just see how big these streams are getting and how much more support we have and how many more people watch it, and I can't say it thank you enough. I'll just always remember where we started. I'll never forget that first conversation. Chris and I had on the phone for like 3 minutes. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. Okay, sounds good. And immediately, it worked. Somebody said before, I forgot who it was. They said, you and Chris were meant to do that show together. You guys were meant to do that show together. There was kismet or karma, whatever. You guys are meant to do this. Yeah, man. It's incredible how far it's come. When we're talking a month before the draft with not a lot to talk about, we still got almost 700 people in here. Yeah. Wait till we're winning game. Wait till we're like 6-1. Yeah. Wait till we're sweeping the division. Wait till we're beating the Cowboys and the Eagles all the time. That's really fun. Yeah. Zig, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Really. Next year's pick is going to be real low. Have faith. I hope you're right. I hope we're picking 32nd. Zig, I agree with you. I think we're going to make the playoffs, but you don't know. I mean, the NFL is unpredictable. So, I'm never giving up a future first-round pick if it's not – well, I shouldn't say never, but I'm very reluctant to give up a future first-round pick if it's not for a quarterback. Right. But Chris is right because you don't know. Like, if you give up that pick and your main guy gets hurt and you fall, that's how Dallas ended up with Ezekiel Elliott. They were a good team. Romo went down. They picked fourth. They ended up with Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, Indianapolis Colts. Look at the Colts with Peyton Manning. Right. They won 12 games every year. Manning goes down. They got the first pick. Right. And like I just said, the Texans were a playoff team all these years, and then they trade their player. They trade a pick away to get Laramie Tunsil, which was a good move because they want to protect Watson, and they end up picking third. And they lost their pick. And now Watson, who knows what's going on with him? He might not even be in the league. They could use a quarterback, and they're not going to have one. Watson needs to get himself a blow-up doll. It really sucks because that was the other thing. Somebody accused me of I don't like Jalen Hurts because he's not Carson Wentz. He's like, oh, you like the tall white boy. I'm like, you're an idiot. Deshaun Watson's my favorite player. I mean, give me a break. So it kind of sucks that he's going through this because I've always loved Deshaun Watson. I wanted Deshaun Watson to be a Giant, and I wanted Russell Wilson to be a Giant too. But hey, it's what it is. But someone's like, do you think someone's like innocent to proven guilty? I said, yeah, but I mean, when you're getting more and more and more and more and more, it's kind of there's a reason. I don't think there was this many people out to commit a conspiracy. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a mess, is what it is. That's what it is. NY Giants 26. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Brilly. He says, what up? Got home from varsity football game in Hampton Bays. Beat the crap out of them. Babylon, New York football rocks. Zorns of Bethpage slaps. Try it. There you go. Congratulations, buddy. Congratulations, my man. Be good, my man. I used to live in Babylon, so that's good. That's cool. NY Giants 26. And I used to play varsity football, and that was cool too. So I broke my ankle, and that was the end of that. And I've been to Zorns and Bethpage, not too far from where I grew up, so that's cool too. Yeah. Prison Mike, thanks so much. Appreciate it, my man. Brilly. Chris Sims says Diami Brown is the third best receiver. Chris Sims is known for his quarterback analysis. Not so much wide receivers. Diami Brown. I've seen him more in like the 8 to 10 range at wide receiver. Mr. Mike. We'll see. Prison Mike. For whatever reason, when I see Prison Mike, I think of Mike Tyson. I don't know why I think Mike Tyson. Well, he went to prison. I know, but I maybe that is good reason. Good reason.
Yeah.
We got some good Italian names in here, man. Cosimo Botta. Really, thanks so much. Really appreciate it, my man. He says, I'm friends with one of the big wide receivers at Penn. He said, Parsons is a horrible dude for what that's worth. Doubt will draft. Well, there you go. If you have insider information like that, he probably is.
Yeah. I don't think we're taking him. I really don't. I'd be cool with him. Believe me, if I'm going to trust the Giants if they draft him, that they did their research. But I'll completely, yeah, exactly. Because Spencer coached him. But if they don't draft him, I'll be like, okay, well, I know why. So I'll understand one way or the other.
Fix the O-line. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it, my man. Brilly. He says, Vera Tucker, if Slater and Sewell pass on Waddle. I want Jalen Waddle. He's actually my favorite receiver in the draft.
Vera Tucker, if Slater and Sewell pass on Waddle. Yeah, fix the O-line, man. I'm a big Waddle guy. Waddle's my second favorite receiver. I've liked Waddle for a while. That'd be close, man. But I do like Vera Tucker as well. It depends. I mean, it depends on how the Giants view him as a prospect, but I'm not going to be upset at all if we take Waddle. I think Waddle's awesome.
Yeah, I like Waddle.
Yeah.
A pit name, Slickback. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. Really. The Nets' success so far makes me hate Jim Dolan even more. We had the city to ourselves for decades, and if he was a decent owner, we could have been amazing.
Yep.
To answer this one real quick. I don't care what the Nets do. New York will always be the Knicks town. When the Knicks went to the Barclays Center and there's 2,000 people in there, Julius Randle's at the free throw line. What do you hear? MVP. Even James Harden said, I could hear the fans. Knicks fans take over the Barclays Center. There is no Nets. They're New Jersey. And you know what? The Knicks are now going to become that team because I stream all the Lakers stuff, okay? The Lakers needed Andre Drummond. The Knicks did not need Andre Drummond. I'm so glad that they did not give that guy money. The Knicks need an absolute superstar to come into New York, and they can get one. They need a guy like Devin Booker. They need a guy. That's the type of guy that they need, not Andre Drummond. The Knicks are going to get that superstar, and then they're going to be at the forefront. Trust me, it's going to happen. But Jim Dolan sucks.
Jim Dolan's a disgrace. He's a horrible owner. I've had to live with a horrible basketball team my whole life, due in large part to him. But I agree with you. I think the Knicks finally are doing it right. You know, they had every opportunity in the world to take a shortcut. The last 2 or 3 years, they haven't done it. Like this year, they could have easily taken a shortcut. There were a number of fans that were saying, go out there, spend what you got to spend, bring in Bradley Beal, get Andre Drummond, they didn't do it. And it's nice to see it. Because they were in this same exact spot the summer of LeBron. Yeah, when they got Carmelo. And the year after the summer of LeBron, after they got Amari. And Amari's kind of like Randall, and then they had young talent around Amari that it was a fun basketball team. Then they traded away all that young talent, and they didn't do it this time around, which is good. So I think they're headed down the right path.
They gave up picks. They gave up my boy Danilo Gallinari, which took me off. They gave up Wilson Chandler, who ended up being a really nice player. They not the Timothy Mozgov ended up being great, but they gave up too much, and they weren't didn't make the move yet. So I'm glad that they did it right. Jay Bird, thank you so much for becoming a member, my man. I appreciate it. Brilly, Jay Bird. Welcome to the Dog Pound. Dog Pound members, where you at? Welcome, Jay Bird, into the kennel, baby. Let's go. I appreciate that, my man. Sabrina, what's going on, my lady? Dominic Pope in the house. Josh, what's going on? Grim Solo, thanks so much for the super chat, brother. Really appreciate it, my man. Brilly Parsons reminds me of Reuben Foster. Yeah, it's a good comparison. Top 10 talent that fell to San Francisco at 31. Obviously didn't work out for them. We have a lot of Penn State intel. Yeah. Great point on that last sentence, too.
Yeah, we do. I mean, Sean Spencer was his defensive line coach. So we'll see. Obviously, Barkley went there as well. So, yeah, we do. But I'm going to say we don't. But I could be wrong. And I will be happy if I'm wrong because I'm going to trust their judgment. And I think he's a great player.
But I was just going to say, if they took him, obviously, they know a lot more than we do. And you have to trust their judgment, especially like he just said with all the Penn State intel.
Yeah.
New York Giants 26, thanks so much. Brilly, my man. It says, Chris, you used to live in Babylon. Where?
Yeah, I lived right by the train station. I'm trying to remember the street, but it was right by I think it was Babylon High School, actually, right in the village right there. It was across from the Cold Stone, if you know where that is. I was in a nice apartment across from the Cold Stone.
Nice. Yeah, here we go. More paisanos. A lot of paisanos. Tutto Azzurri. What's going on, brother? Grazie, paisano, grazie. Brilly says, ciao, my paisanos. How you fellas doing? I just stopped by to pay my respects. Time for both of you guys to come back home to Italy and have some ice cold Peronis. Yeah, Peroni's a little pie. I'm in.
I'm in, my man. You give me the ticket. I'm there, my man. We'll have a couple of Peronis together. We'll kick back. We'll talk.
I'll tell you what. You make me single for a week. I'm in. You don't even need to buy the ticket. Just single for 1 week. No wife, no kid. Where I can just do what I want. I'm going to Italy. Possible to do anything right now, but it's well worth it to be.
Absolutely.
And Y McKinney, thanks so much. Really appreciate it, brother. Brilly. Sup, Chris and Baddog. Glad to see the $330 million Giancarlo Stanton in midseason form. Yeah. Over 5 3Ks. Nobody besides LeMahieu on this team is clutch. Listen, don't get me started. I got ripped on Twitter today because I said I don't want to pay Aaron Judge a big contract. And people said, "Oh, you're overreacting." I'm like, do you really think I made that comment over one game with Aaron Judge? It's been over 3 years. We can't do anything about Giancarlo Stanton. We're stuck with that.
I don't watch the Yankees that often. How old isn't Judge? Like
29. 29 at the end of April.
You can't give him a long contract. The guy's injury prone. He's approaching 30.
That's why. But people killed me, man, because I just, like I said, I think outside the box. That's a 3-year comment, not a 1-game comment. It's just, and Giancarlo Stanton, yes, it's same crap. I don't know, N.Y. McKinney. This is the same team we've had for 3 years. They don't hit in the clutch. I don't know what else to do. And it's weird that Sanchez hit the home run today, and DJ LeMahieu actually failed to get the runner in from third, less than 2 outs in the ninth. It's just not like him at all, especially after Talkman stole second and third. And, of course, Jay Bruce failed as well. That doesn't surprise me. Who the hell is Jay Bruce? But that's a whole – I could do a whole stream on the Yankees. And we're going to start doing Yankee content on this channel, by the way. I'm not going to be able to stream a Yankee game. I don't know when, though, man, because let's see. They don't play tomorrow. Saturday, I can't. I have an Easter egg hunt with my son. Sunday's Easter. Tuesday, the Lakers play. Wednesday's my kid's birthday.
Here and there.
Yeah, here and there. Pim named Slickback, thanks so much. I appreciate it, brother. Really, my man. He says, yes, for older guys, it's a Knicks town. He says, but I'm 50. My son is a Nets fan, and his friends are Nets fans. Losing for so long only holds for so long. Makes sense.
Yeah, if the Knicks start winning, though, I think they'll. I don't think the Nets are a threat at all. In terms of taking over the city, I there's too much history here with the Knicks.
Yeah.
Trust
me, if the Knicks ever win, it'll be a big deal. It won't be a big deal if the Nets win it, but it'll be a huge deal if the Knicks do.
Yeah.
Give the Knicks a couple years. Get that one guy like Giannis in there. I'm not saying Giannis and I'm just saying that guy, the Lucas, the Giannis's, the Karl Anthony Towns would be a perfect fit for New York.
They need one superstar. That's what they need.
One superstar to go with Julius Randle. And RJ Barrett and IQ. They got a lot of good young talent.
Yeah.
I don't know why people give Barrett such a hard time. I've never got – Barrett's been awesome this year.
Yeah. Well, you know what it is? He struggles late in the games, but he's still only 20 years old. But he's definitely grown this year. A lot. More than I thought he would, to be honest with you. He's grown a lot.
Listen, you want to rip somebody, rip Frank Ntilikina. He's always sucked. Rip him. I've never liked that guy. Tutto, grazie. Thank you so much, Paisano. Really. What the Philadelphia Eagles team and the post office have in common, they both don't deliver on Sundays. Baddog. There you go. I did say that, I think. Back in the day. But they, unfortunately, Tutto, they delivered against us way too many times.
Yes, they did.
That's all going to change this season. ENA, we got time. Thanks so much, buddy. I really appreciate it. Really, my man. Didn't watch it all, but my favorite player of all time is Derek Fisher. How was he as a coach? And even though we didn't draft nobody from the U, we produce. I think, didn't Derek Fisher win championships with the Lakers? Yes, no?
Oh, as a player, he did. Yeah, as a coach, he was horrible. He was the Knicks head coach.
Well, with the Knicks head coach, he was terrible.
Yeah. I think that was the only place he was head coach, if I'm not mistaken. He took the Knicks job, I think, the year after he retired, and he was friggin' horrible. Never understood that signing. That was the year where the Knicks tried to hire Steve Kerr, and a lot of people thought we were going to get Steve Kerr, and then Phil Jackson struck out there, and then he went and got one of his former players with Derek Fisher. Fisher was a horrible head coach. Good player. He won some titles.
I forgot what the hell I was going to ask you. It was something about the Knicks, and I can't remember what the hell it was now. Damn it. It'll come to me later, hopefully. I forgot what the hell I was going to ask you. Abe Capone, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Really. Knicks have sucked my entire life. You're young then, because they were good in the 90s. They were good. When I was in school, Brooklyn, nobody rooted for the Knicks. I'm not a Nets fan, but Pimp is right. The Knicks are irrelevant. They're not irrelevant this year. Oh, how the hell do they lose last night? They're up 14. I'm like, that game's
18.
over.
They had an 18-point lead.
Was it up to 18? It was 14 when I changed the channel. I'm like, that's over. 7 minutes ago, the Timberwolves game's over. People in the chat are telling me the Knicks lost. I'm like, stop. They're like, the Knicks lost by 1. They choked. I said, get out of here. I'm like, how the hell did that what happened? I missed what happened.
They choked. They had sloppy basketball down the stretch, tons of turnovers. Elfrid Payton turned it over like 2 or 3 times in the last 5 minutes. Barrett turned it over once. Bad defense, missed open shots. It's just a complete collapse. Yeah. As far as what he said, I call bullshit on that. And I don't know how old Abe is.
He's got to be young because
there is no way.
2005 up.
There was no other team in New York before the Nets got here. So people in Brooklyn absolutely were Knicks fans. Now, there may have been, because they were bad today, a lot of kids nowadays, they just pick a player. That's why the Warriors were so popular. Everybody likes Steph Curry. But there were and still are a ton of Knicks fans in Brooklyn. I promise you.
Yeah, Abe Capone, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Really. Nobody under 70 rooting for the Knicks. Well, I'm old. I'm not that old. I'm still rooting for the Knicks. Chris is younger than me. He's rooting for the Knicks.
Yeah.
We're still rooting for the Knicks. And the Knicks are going to be good. Give it 2 years. Knicks will be a 50-win team in 2 years. Mark my word.
I like where they're headed. Let's put it that way.
Jared Mercado says, Baddog, my thoughts on Obi Toppin. I think IQ is the better draft pick.
Obi Toppin sucks right now.
There you go. Chris said there you go. I was trying to be nice for a change. Chris went into Baddog right. He sucks. He
sucks. Yeah, maybe he'll get better, but right now he sucks.
You got to stop jacking up threes.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem. I'm Old Man Cave. Thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Really, my man. He says, always great to see you both, or always great to see you boys talking New York sports. Let's effing go.
You know the guy that I showed in the community notes with the tailgate? That's the guy.
Ah, nice. Oh, yeah. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, Mobile Man Cave.
I get on board.
Yeah.
That's pretty freaking awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty freaking cool, man.
Yeah.
Patrick Sisson, thank you so much. Really appreciate it, my man. Really, Baddog, Pitts or Sewell? I'll be honest. Sewell's definitely the bigger need, but give me Pitts.
Hey, a lot of people would say Pitts. I'm
a Pitt. I can't waver. But listen, if Sewell fell to 11 and the Giants took him, I'm going to be ecstatic. I'd be ecstatic if either one of those guys are there at 11. I'm ecstatic. If they're both there, I don't know what the hell the top 10 was doing.
Yeah, I would go Sewell, but like Baddog said, Pitts is really good. I'd be happy with either one of them.
Yeah.
But I'd be thrilled if one was there. I don't think either one will be. I'd be thrilled if one was there.
Yeah. I'm bringing up my chat so I can see what Don's super sticker is. Don, thank you so much for the super sticker, brother. I appreciate it. Really, brother. I'm just waiting for it to come up in a little fist bump.
I want to give a quick shout out to Dominic before I forget. I see he's been posting my channel the whole stream. So thank you, Dominic. I appreciate it.
That's right. Where are we? Abe, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Really. I'm 23. Youngin. I was 23. I was 23 when I met my wife.
Okay. So this is okay, but to me, Abe, and I just you can read it and then I'll give my opinion on it.
Oh, he says I'm 23. Other than 2 years of Melo, they've sucked. I knew he was young. Everyone 30 and younger roots for players or super teams. Team loyalty days are over in the NBA. Go ahead, Chris.
What I'm going to say to that is it's kind of like Odell Beckham fans with the Giants. They're not Giants fans. They're Odell Beckham fans. So if you're rooting for the Golden State Warriors because of Steph Curry, if you're rooting for the LA Lakers because of LeBron James, if you're rooting for the LA Clippers because of Kawhi Leonard, you're not a Clipper, you're not a Laker, and you're not a whatever other team I said at the beginning. You're just a fan of a player. So I don't consider those fans of teams. I root for the jersey. I don't care who's playing in it. If you're rooting for super teams, well, then you're just someone who doesn't want to go through the struggle and you want immediate gratification. You're not a fan of that team. You'll bounce to the next team.
Yeah. But I'll agree, Abe, you're right, which is why I get in arguments here on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram, because you're right. Everybody under 30 are player fans. And that's why I got in the argument about Aaron Judge, because there's just people that no matter what, they love a player, and no matter how bad they are, if you say something negative about their performance, they're going to get on your case. Because they're just – and that is why some Giants fans still can't let Odell Beckham go. Odell Beckham has done nothing in Cleveland. He's been hurt. He's been unproductive. And we were a losing ball club with him here. He's never done anything to help the Giants win. He hasn't done anything to help Cleveland win. But some people still say, why did we get rid of Odell Beckham? Like, it just – he's right. It is. There's a lot of player fans. And I say all the time, I am a fan of this. I'm a fan of the name on the front of the jersey, not a fan of the name on the back. Because it's laundry, it's over for me.
If you root for the team because of a player, you're not a fan of the team. You're a fan of the individual. And it just means you're going to jump to another team when you like another player after he gets traded. Like LeBron fans. They were probably Cavs fans. Then he went to the Lakers. They became Lakers fans. You're not a Laker fan. You're a LeBron fan.
Right.
Yeah.
I like LeBron. Yeah. I have a rookie Cavs jersey.
Yeah.
I have a Lakers jersey now, too, thanks to Dire Giants fan. He's a freaking man. New York Giants, LA Dodgers, T-Wolves Superfan. Thanks so much, my man. Really sorry for my Wolves. The Giants remind me of the 2019 Rams. Hope so. 2019 Rams are okay.
I've been comparing them to the Rams for a long time. The way that they constructed the team, because they drafted the running back first with Gurley, then they got the quarterback with Goff. They kind of built their offense around the running back. The problem is we haven't been able to stay healthy, and they had more talent on their defense, although our defense is starting to look really good.
I'm going to say this. No, I give Daniel Jones a hard time. Daniel Jones will be better than Jared Goff.
That's not saying much right now.
I know, but he's going to be better than Jared Goff.
The other major difference, though, that I'll say between the Rams and Giants, McVay is one of the best play callers in the NFL. As much as we try to stick up for Garrett, he's not at McVay's level.
Well, we got a damn good head coach, though. We
do have a damn good head coach. That's for damn sure.
Don Perocchio. Look at all the Italians representing tonight. The Italians. The Ginzus.
I love Rolly's comments. So, Chris, does that mean you're a Barkley fan instead of the Giants? What? What? If the Giants don't retain Saquon Barkley, I'm going to be a Giants fan. I'm going to stay here. I'm not going to go to that team, and I'm not going to bitch and moan because we trade him if I feel like it's the best intentions for the team. So, no. Yeah. I mean, I could have a favorite player on a team and still be a fan of the team. I was an Eli Manning fan. Eli Manning retired. I'm still a Giants fan, Roldy.
Yeah, listen. I may have been saying the Giants should listen to trade offers for Barkley. I got crucified, just like I did when I said we should trade Odell Beckham back in 2017.
Yeah.
And Odell Beckham ain't here anymore. And he went to the team that I said we should trade him to. Nostradamus on that one. But, Dom, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it. Billy, was you able to look at the film on my boy trailer, Williams from Syracuse University, a straight athlete, cornerback playmaker, could replace Peppers if need be? I didn't even know he made a film on that.
Maybe he's asking if we've been able to watch film on him.
Oh, that's what it is.
I have not.
Yeah, Don, this week or the next 2 weeks, I'm on vacation. So I will be able to look at the draft now, but I really haven't got past the first round. Last year, this time, the whole COVID shut down the entire country. I was working from home. I definitely had a lot more time on my hands. But now that I'm on vacation till April 19th, I will have a lot of chance to look at a lot of things. So I plan on having at least 2 mock drafts up in the next 2 weeks. So yeah. I'll be able to take a look at that. And speaking of, here you go, more paisanos. Grazie tutto. Really, my man. He says, Giants should take the best player available who would definitely change the momentum of the team and also a future gold jacket candidate. That would be ideal.
Of course. Yeah, if you could match talent with best available with need, that's always what you try to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're going to have need because we do edge rush about again, like I said, I think edge rusher at 11 in this draft is a reach. But if Parsons, if they feel like all that stuff is in his past, they want to go that way, we could definitely use a linebacker. If they wanted to go Pat Surtain or Caleb Farley or J.C. Horn, although I think that may be a little bit of a reach too, we could always use depth at corner. Anybody on the offensive line I'm thrilled with. And, of course, Kyle Pitts, give him to me all day, every day. And then if we take a Jalen Waddle or a Devontae Smith, I ain't going to be mad at that either.
No.
I like the position we're in. I do.
Yeah.
Because at 11, it's not like you're reaching for, like at that point, there's just a lot of players that are going to fill a need.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like it's an absolute necessity. You need this guy at 3. So, yeah, it's like your situation.
We're in a great situation. I mean, especially because we need an offensive lineman. You could get one in the second if you're in love with the prospect in the first.
Danny Thomas, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it, brother. Really, my man. He says the Knicks will always be the team in New York. Obi needs a Rubio at the point to excel. When Derrick Rose got there, he started playing a lot better.
He did.
Thoughts on Lindor getting a 10-year deal and the Mets getting the World Series? Did you guys give him 10? We were talking about that before. Did you guys give him 10 years?
10 years, $341 million.
Woo! I missed that.
All right, so what I'll say about the Lindor deal is this.
Holy shit, that's a lot. Wow.
Yeah, 10 years, $341 million. What I'll say about the Lindor deal is this. Yeah, it's a lot. You knew the Mets were going to have to overpay, kind of like what we did when we traded. In baseball, though, overpaying is not the same effect as any other sport because there's no salary cap.
Luxury tax.
There is a luxury tax, but I'm happy that the Mets did it. I know it's overpaying. You're talking about a top 5 player outside of pitchers, a position player in baseball at the most important position, entering the prime of his career. And to me as a Mets fan, I've watched this team be cheap year after year after year after year. The last player that they brought in that they signed to over a 4-year contract from outside the organization was Carlos Beltran. You're going all the way back to 2005. So we're talking 15 years. So as a Mets fan, I'm excited because this to me signifies that, yeah, Steve Cohen's not messing around. That's a big market type move. And I'm glad that the New York Mets locked him down. In terms of them being able to compete for a World Series, if we make the playoffs, we got a shot. Obviously, we got to get Noah Syndergaard back. I like our pitching staff. It's not great. It's good. With a healthy Syndergaard, it's borderline great. And we got to buff up that bullpen at the trade deadline. Our lineup is probably the second best lineup in the National League. I love our lineup. I mean, you're talking about hitting Jeff McNeil potentially 6th. He's one of the better hitters in baseball. So I love the Mets team right now. It's probably the most excited I've been for a lineup in a long time. I worry about the bullpen, and we got to stay healthy. But I think we're a playoff team, and if you get in the playoffs, you got a shot.
All I can say is I'm rooting for Lindor to do well with the Mets because the Mets have always made the right move, but the guys always fail. So hopefully Lindor can break that. It just seems like whenever the Mets make the correct move, like it looks like a good move and it's a good move on paper, and it's this guy, they just never pan out. So hopefully Lindor's not that guy. Listen, I'm a Yankee fan. I don't hate on the Mets. I know Mets fans hate on the Yankees. That's just a little jealousy. That's all that is. There's no other reason to hate on us. We don't.
I'll be the first to say it.
It is, but I don't hate on the Mets. I rooted for the Mets to beat the Royals in the World Series. So I'm, that's and the only time I didn't root for the Mets in the World Series was against the Yankees. I would never do that. Graham, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Really. You believe the Mac Jones stuff at 3, 5 quarterbacks in round 1. I definitely believe 5 quarterbacks in round 1. I definitely believe that. Mac Jones at 3. I'm starting to believe more than I would.
Here's what I'll say. This I know for a fact. 1, there's been links to Shanahan and Jones. 2, Justin Fields and Mac Jones had their pro day on the same day. Shanahan went to Mac Jones' pro day, didn't go to Justin Fields. So
I think you're taking Mac Jones.
There's interest there. Let's put it that way.
Definitely. Yeah, we got time. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Really. He says, I guess I'm different. Favorite NBA player, Fisher. Team Pelicans. Favorite NFL player, Alex Smith. Team Giants. People hear that and just laugh at me. My favorite player was John Starks. He wasn't.
And we got time.
Dominique Wilkins.
That just means you're a fan of a team. My favorite baseball player, well, I mean, outside of my team, I love Vladimir Guerrero. He was an Expo. That was a rival of the Mets. But yeah, you could be fans of players off the team.
Yeah,
but
Deshaun Watson, Tom Brady, I love those guys.
Aaron Rodgers for me. I mean, so yeah.
Amazing guy, real quick, says, I'll go with Sims. Sims was very good in his day. He wasn't great. I would say Phil Sims was very good. I wouldn't say he was great, though. He definitely got better as his career went on. He had a lot of injuries his first 4 years in the league. He actually got benched in 83 for Scott Brunner. And then after that, I think he got humbled and he took off in 84. And then the Giants are really good with him ever since. But borderline Hall of Famer. There's part of me that thinks he belongs in there. There's part of me that understands why he's not. But
yeah.
Chris is a little too young for Sims.
If Sims wins that second Super Bowl, I think he's in. If instead of Hostetler.
Well, I mean, they were what, 11-2 with Sims.
Yeah, but I really believe if he never got hurt and won it, He'd be a Hall of Famer.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think they would have won it with Sims. I think Hostetler's mobility was a big reason they won that.
No, you might be right, but
I really
yeah.
do. Nicky Sapp, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Really, 90 Giants are my favorite Giants team of all time. He says, Mama made the bolognese tonight, my Italian brothers. Hey, there you go. Hey, the Italian guys are representing hardcore tonight.
That's my favorite sauce. Give me a little bolognese. Glad to see you in here, Nicky, man. What's going on, buddy?
Bolognese. Listen, man. Yeah, I like it. A lot of paisanos in here. The only guy we're missing is Al Bats. Sir Cone, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Really. He says, what Giants home game would you want to go to and against what team and why?
Eagles.
Division rival.
Yeah.
Eagles. Yeah.
This year, the Eagles.
Eagles would be good.
I want to rip their heads off.
Eagles would be good. We'd have to get some guys out. Philly 500 would fly in for that game. I have a feeling he would.
Yeah.
And then Philly 500 and I can make our vlog about drinking beer because that's what we want to do. Caleb, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Really. He says, you're right. I'm 19 and I'm a LeBron fan, but go Giants. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fans like that, especially in basketball, because it's such an individualistic sport.
It really is.
You have people that root for players rather than teams.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I swear to God, there's people that say they're Bulls fans. They're only Jordan fans. They weren't Bulls fans. They're not Bulls fans now.
Yeah.
I freaking hated Jordan. But I love Jordan now.
I hated Jordan as a kid because he always beat
us. Beat the Knicks. Always. Beat everybody. He's not just a damn Knicks. He beat Malone and Stockton. He beat Peyton and Kemp. He beat everybody.
But as you grow up and after he retired, you appreciate what he did. And then you start to hear the newer generation tell you Kobe's better or LeBron's better. And you say, listen, I watch these guys play. There is nobody that touches Jordan. And that makes you get a better appreciation for him as an athlete. But when I was watching him live, I couldn't stand the guy. I hated him to death.
Me too.
Only guy I hated more was Reggie Miller.
Tristan Cheney says, I sub. Hey, Tristan, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed to The Up Tainah, make sure you go into the description. That goes for anybody that hasn't subscribed to The Up Tainah. Make sure you go in the description, sub him up. The link to his channel's in there. We'll be doing this show on his channel next week, so please make sure you subscribe to him. Mike Francesa, my favorite radio guy ever. Thanks so much. Billy says, I can't stand the Nets, but as much as I hate to say it, they're a smart organization. Sean Marks is from the Spurs, and the Nets have built something. Well, they've bought something. Yeah, you're right.
Mike, man, you hate the Knicks, so you seem to hate every New York team nowadays because you always picked on the Jets, and now you've had your run-ins with the Giants. The outside of the Yankees, I think he hates every New York team.
The sports pope.
Yeah.
Mike Zorn. the Mike Dupp. I do love Francesa. I really am a combination of Francesa and Baddog. It's freaking insane. I think it's because, again, I'm a New Yorker, and I grew up listening to those guys. So I really do. And I think that's why I like them so much, because I really do embody the personality of both of them, where I just go off on those crazy-ass rants like Mad Dog, and I will get into an argument with somebody, and I'm stubborn like Francesa. So it is funny that I do really have that combination of those two guys. Brian Ackley, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Brilly says, to me, J.M. Phillips is the best pure edge rusher. He will either be the same or better than Chase Young. Wow. I'm not worried about his injuries. That's a big statement.
I'm going to disagree on that. But I do think J.M. Phillips has a lot of talent. He ain't Chase Young. Chase Young, to me, is
generational.
Yeah. That, by the way, that is the most overused term in the NFL now.
What's that?
Generational. That word. Every time, and for him, it's appropriate. For Penei Sewell, it's appropriate. For Trevor Lawrence, it's appropriate. But you hear it for 10 prospects every draft now. Oh, this guy's a generational wide receiver.
For Kyle Pitts.
He's probably generational. Okay. But I just feel like it is the most.
I agree with you. I just want to know.
Generational is supposed to be once in a generation. That's the definition of the word. Well, if Trevor Lawrence is a generational quarterback, well, the quarterback in next year's draft, you better not call him generational because he's in the same generation.
Right, a generation is like 15 years.
Yeah, so every year I hear there's 10 prospects that play the same positions as the next draft that are generational.
They're all generational. Maybe generations have shrunk by 2 years or into 2 years now.
Yeah.
The quarterback class next year is not good.
Yeah.
So Philly still be looking for a quarterback next year. Mike Francesa, thanks so much. Appreciate you, my man. Brilly. Number one, the Pope, the sports Pope, Tank Mush or Mush. Tank Mush. There's a guy on his name was it was like, oh God, I forgot the guy's name. Damn it. It was like fun. It was something Funhouse, and he had all the clips of Francesa. Oh, it was the best. The best
Oh,
channel.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
What is the name of it? Oh, it's the best.
You're
It's
talking about
Funhouse.
with the cartoons you're talking about.
No, he does like all the clips of Francesa's shows.
Oh,
when he gets everything wrong, it's great.
Oh no, I'm
It's
talking about a different
Funhouse. It's so good. It's so good. I love Francesa. I love when he gets trolled. I love when he gets mad. I just love Francesa. I don't know. But he says, and the Knicks will always be the team in New York, but the NBA players don't respect Dolan. If Luka and Zion want to team up in the future, they won't choose us. See, I disagree. I think that the Knicks are actually building something, and I think that they could choose the Knicks.
Yeah, I think, and don't get me wrong, Dolan hasn't helped, but I think a major reason why players haven't come here is because they haven't seen an opportunity to win more so than anything else. Right. And it's because the Knicks haven't built the team the right way. And in my opinion, they finally are. You know, the way that you win in the NBA, you want to already have a good team before you add the superstars at free agency. Those superstars at free agency aren't going to want to go to a bad team. So you want to draft well, kind of like the Sixers did. They tanked forever. And then they ended up getting
over there.
Yeah, they hit on, a couple of draft picks with Embiid and Ben Simmons, and then all of a sudden you can bring some players in. I think that's the main reason, more so than anything else. The Knicks always traded away their draft picks. They never built properly.
Right. Ricardo Rodriguez, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it, brother. Really, really, my man. Hello, gentlemen. Somebody come in here? Gentlemen. He says, great seeing you guys again. What are your thoughts on John Mara's recent press conferences about the new free agent signings? I missed that.
Yeah, well, I saw his latest press conference. He talked briefly about the new free agent signings, but the headliner from that was what he said about Saquon Barkley, but that's no news to us. Gettleman said the same thing a couple of weeks ago, but he said he wasn't in a rush to extend Saquon, and I don't think he should be. I think Saquon's got to prove he's healthy and could lead the team. So I agreed with that statement. And, yeah, I mean, you talked about the playoffs, but that's basically what I took from it, and I think we should have playoff expectations this year.
If I miss any super chats, guys, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not missing them, but using the StreamYard thing, sometimes they get clipped off and I can't go back far enough. So if I missed any, I'm really sorry. Anthony Kivier, thanks so much. I appreciate it. My man, really, what were both of your 2007 and 2011 celebrations? What was your celebration?
2007, I was at my girlfriend at the time's house party, and there was about 20 of us there. A lot of my friends, a lot of her friends. And yeah, I was screaming at the top of my lungs, and I went out to a bar that night actually, and I drank until about 3 a.m. And then I came home, I passed out, and I went out again and drank again the next night in celebration. It was just nonstop celebration, and I was just in shock for about a week straight. The second time I was actually sick. I was really sick. I had the flu. I was supposed to go to my friend's house, Paul, but didn't happen because how sick I was. But I still got up, and you know what was funny? That whole game, the second one, 2011, we remember what Eli did that year. And every time in a big spot, Eli would come through that year. Regular season, postseason, didn't matter. And it was just me and my girlfriend at the time because I was sick, so we couldn't go out. And she was nervous for me. She was actually a Packer fan, but she was rooting for the Giants because I was a Giants fan. And I sat up. I was standing up, but I was sick, so I was getting through it, but I was pumped up during the game. And as soon as the Patriots had to punt the ball and the Giants got it, I sat down calmly. And she said, Chris, why are you so calm? This is the last drive. I said, this game's over. I said, I've seen Eli do this all year. I said, as soon as they got the ball back, I knew the game was over. I knew the Giants were going to win. I was that calm. The first time around, I'd never seen Eli do it before. We were going up against the greatest team of all time. I was on pins and needles. I didn't think we were going to win that game until the clock struck 0. But the second time around, I knew the Giants were going to win as soon as Eli got that ball back on that last drive.
For me, 2007, I was at my buddy's house. There was I was married, so I wasn't going out drinking. I would have if I was single. But I got married in 2007, actually. So I was at my buddy's house. My best friend's an Eagles fan. He was leaving at halftime. He said, you know what, I'm going to stick around. Everybody else, there was a Giants fan. There was one Patriots fan there. I can remember when Plaxico Burress scored the touchdown, my buddy, the guy that owned the house, he had a hallway. And he went running, and he slid down the hallway with his arms up in the air. And I just ran, and I tackled his ass on the ground, and we were starting celebrating. And then I ran out to the kitchen, and one of my buddies was 320 pounds. I lifted his ass right up off the ground. I was so pumped. I just grabbed him like, oh my God, we're going to beat the Patriots. So he actually looked at me and goes, how the hell did you just pick me up? I go, I don't know. I had so much energy. I couldn't believe. I mean, I actually thought we were going to win that game. I bet money the Giants win straight up. That's the most I've ever won on a football game.
I'll be the first to say I did not.
Bucks on that.
I did not think we were going to win that game.
So I did that. And then 2011, I've told this story a bunch of times. Every game, every Sunday, or before the playoffs, every morning for breakfast, I had cinnamon rolls before the game. I came down here. I had one of those old ass tube TVs. It was a 42-inch tube JVC TV. I watched every game down here. I was supposed to go to my dad's house and watch the Super Bowl over there. I said, Dad, I can't. I have to watch the game downstairs on his TV. I got to watch it here. I can't watch it anywhere else. So I'm watching it. And I can remember the Giants got the sack, and it was like 4th and 13 or 4th and 15. And I'm like, yeah, and then they converted. And I'm like, number one, when Eli threw the pass, I'm like, I can't breathe. I can't breathe because they're replaying. I'm like, I can't breathe. And when they threw that Hail Mary, and I couldn't see the ball.
Same thing for me.
I panicked.
Yep.
I'm like, where's the ball? Where's the ball? And then I saw it on the back of the end. So I'm like, yeah, that was pretty much my celebration.
The initial camera angle that they showed, though, it looked like Gronk could have easily caught the ball.
Yep.
And I had the same exact reaction. And I still say to this day, because Gronk was hurt going into that game.
He was healthy.
He might have caught that. But yeah, man, I was in complete confidence that year because Eli that entire year, anytime there was a big spot, he was going to come through. And I obviously didn't think they were going to win a Super Bowl when they first got into the playoffs because they were a bad team that year.
Yeah.
They had a lot of injuries, whatever. But after I saw them beat the Falcons, I think it was like 24-2. Yeah, and then I saw the defense starting to come around. I'm like, yeah. And then I said to myself, all right, Eli's money this year, and now the defense is coming around. I said to myself, if we go in and beat Green Bay, which we narrowly lost to earlier in the year, I was at the game 38-35.
Yeah, the officials gave him that one.
And they did. I said to myself, we're going to win the Super Bowl. And once they beat Green Bay, I was like, I'm not worried. We're going to beat San Francisco. We're going to find a way. And I did legitimately feel like we were going to beat the Patriots.
Those are awesome. Thanks for the question. That was good to relive us. We're going to get back to those days very soon, Giants fans.
Absolutely.
Hey, Capone, thank you so much, man. Billy says, I love the Knicks fans hate in 5 years we rebuilt for the worst situation in history, and now we're dangerous. Y'all can have New York. We want rings. It's true. It's true. NY Giants, LA Dodgers. What's going on, man? Brilly, thank you so much. Says, I'm a Giants fan, Dodgers fans, but fan of Karl Anthony Towns, and now I don't know what ANT is. Is that
I know Cat is.
Yeah, is it Giannis? ANT? You just can't fit in Antetokounmpo.
Oh, maybe. Antetokounmpo, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, whatever. All three of the brothers played against each other last night. They were all on the Thanasis. Costas came at the end of the game. Yeah, it's because the Lakers getting killed. Andre Tillman had his toenail ripped off. That had to hurt. Irish Rover, thank you so much, man. Brilly, my man says, I started watching the Knicks since 73. Say no more. One of the greatest 5 starting players in NBA history. Yep. Yeah, the Knicks probably should have won it in 71, too. They probably should have won more than 2 championships on those 70s teams because they were really good.
Phil Jackson was the 6th man.
Yeah.
On that Knicks team.
Really good. Delano, what's going on? One of our first supporters of this show. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Really. He says, since y'all consider me family, am I part Paisan? You're definitely Paisan.
Of course you are, Delano. Delano's the man, dude. Been supporting since the beginning.
Pais Delano. Abe Capone, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Really, Billy says, Nets bought? Yeah, you don't have a problem with the Lakers buying, right? I don't care what the Lakers do. I'm not a Lakers fan. He said, did you miss the seasons we developed younger players and then upgrade? They bought the players. Kevin Durant's not theirs. Kyrie Irving's not theirs. James Harden's not theirs. LaMarcus Aldridge isn't theirs. Blake Griffin's not theirs. What do you want me to say? Spencer Dinwiddie, he's yours.
D'Angelo Russell wasn't theirs originally. They traded for him.
Who's Joe Thomas? That's theirs, right?
Yeah. I mean, they drafted a couple of nice players, even though they gave away all the draft picks and that horrible. But at the end of the day, their whole team's built.
I don't care about. Listen, I stream the Lakers. I'm not a Laker fan.
Abe, I'll be the first to say as a Knicks fan, if we did the same thing you did, I'd be ecstatic.
Yeah, I'm not going to get mad at you. I'm just saying there was bought. You don't think the Yankees have paid money to win championships?
Yeah,
I'm fine with that. I got no problem with it, but that's not your talent. It came from somewhere else. It's not an insult. People only say that when you're winning championship. Oh, you bought that. I don't give a damn. It ain't my money. I don't care. Pay away. But that was my point. Here we go. Jared Allen was a guy you got rid of, though. I love Jared Allen. I'm not going to lie. I love Jared Allen. Jared Allen's a good player. I like Jared Allen a lot. But then you really develop young talent like Dio, Karras.
Didn't develop him. You traded for him. I mean, it was a good trade, but D'Angelo Russell was not an original net.
Then signed stars, made a splash like a super team. Phoenix fans are better and sad. Vice pitchers. Listen, I'm not bitter or sad about the Nets, Abe. The Nets have won nothing. Ever.
I am not bitter at all. I don't even hate the Nets. I just laugh at all these people that claim that they're Nets fans. They couldn't give two shits about the team before they got Kevin Durant. I don't view them as real Nets fans. That's all. I call them out for it.
Right. And again, you won't play it. It's all right. The Yankees do it all the time. I'm a Yankees fan. I got no problem with you buying. I have no problem with that. I'm just saying that that's not developed talent. And it's, like I said, as far as the Lakers go, LeBron's not theirs. Anthony Davis isn't theirs. Dennis Schroeder isn't theirs. There's a bunch of Marcus Gasol's not theirs. Montrezl Harrell's not. Of course, that's the NBA today. That's the NBA. That is what it is.
Yeah,
that's how it goes today. It's not a big deal, but I'm just saying you didn't develop those players. You didn't build it. You bought it. It's not a big deal. Like the Yankees, they did build their championships in the 90s, but they were able to keep those guys. A lot of teams can't keep their talent. And then the Yankees bought a lot of players and didn't win a lot of championships in the 2000s. It's part of it. We'll see if the Nets can pull it off. It's going to be interesting. D. Giorgio, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Billy says one player can't do it all. That's why I'm excited for our team this year. All 53 of them. Our coaching staff is one of the best. Judge equals Coughlin 2.0.
That's what I still think is the thing that I'm most looking forward to is the growth of our head coach, Joe Judge. And I think that's most Giant fans. I mean, he was fantastic last year.
I agree. I love Joe Judge. And listen, man, Parcells and Belichick both love the guy. And he, to me, a little combination of both, I think. If that guy's ever comes near as good as those two guys were, we'll be ecstatic. But he's built differently than Matt Patricia, Charlie Weiss, who's the other, Josh McDaniels. You can just tell.
Yeah.
He's gonna get it done. That guy, that's a guy you want in your foxhole with you. He ain't leaving your side. He's going to stay there and battle with you. Those other guys running for the hills. I love Judge.
I'm a big Judge guy.
Vincent V. Brown, thank you so much, man. Really, still bad taste in my mouth from last night, Chris.
That was a tough loss last night.
I can't believe they lost.
That was a tough loss.
I thought that was salted away for sure. Yeah.
I was speechless at the end of the game. I didn't even know what to say. It was embarrassing.
That's a bad loss, especially when you're so close. Those teams are so close after the first three. The Knicks you drop from 4th to 8th in one night. It's that crazy.
Yeah.
Jeremiah, thanks so much, my man. Appreciate it, brother. Really says, I got to show love, even though y'all made a poor choice in football team. Jeremiah, I could say the same thing about you, my man. But you're the man. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it, man. Always appreciate you supporting the channel, brothers. I'm saying there's some really good Eagle fans out there. Jeremiah is one of them.
Yeah, he was in the stream today. I saw him.
Yeah, he just chose the wrong team.
We agreed. They asked me what order do I think the NFC East is going to finish this year. I said Giants, Washington, Cowboys, Eagles. Then he super chatted. He had the same order, so we agreed.
There you go. Yeah. Well, listen, he's a realistic guy. There's a lot of – I'll say this. There was a lot of Eagle fans on Philly 500's stream that I was in and said, Baddog's right about Jalen. Like a lot of Eagle fans do agree with me about Jalen Hurts. A lot of them do. And, of course, they get killed. I mean, the guy that ripped me in the comment section wasn't just ripped me. He also ripped Philly 500 because Philly 500 is not a big Jalen Hurts guy.
Yeah.
And the Nigel Freak's not a big Jalen Hurts guy. But I respect the guys that will go against their own fan base and say, listen, I don't care if you are an Eagles fan or not. I don't like the guy, and I'm going to tell you. I respect that because you're going to take a beating from your own fan base. It takes a lot of balls to come out here and say bad things about your own team. Some people aren't going to put up with it. DeGondre Baker, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Really. He says Nets did Mickey Mouse, Jerry Reese type rebuild. Well, we'll see if it was a Jerry Reese type rebuild because if they actually
I'm not going to criticize the Nets. The Nets did it right. They They did it right. They're competing for a championship. I would take that right now as a Knicks fan.
Yeah, listen. Again, I'm not knocking what they did. I'm just saying that wasn't built. It was bought.
They mortgaged their whole future, but if they win a championship, it's worth it.
It's worth it. Like the Lakers.
Yeah.
I thought they gave away way too much for Anthony Davis when they did it. But you know what? They won a championship. They won the trade. That's simple. They brought him in to win a championship. He did it. In his first year, they won the trade. It does not matter. They could never win another championship with Anthony Davis there. It don't matter. They won one. They won the trade.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. The Nets win a championship. That's all that matters. Nothing else matters.
All of a sudden, everybody's a Nets fan now. You're getting super chats about the Nets all night. All of a sudden, everybody's a passionate Nets fan.
We're in New York doing a New York thing, right? When I do the Lakers streams, Nets fans everywhere. I'm like, Clippers okay, but Nets.
It's like it's like Kevin Durant comes to town, and all of a sudden there's net orgies, and everybody's multiplying like rabbits. Everybody's a big Nets fan now. All of a sudden,
whatever. I don't care. Whatever. We'll see what happens. It's just funny when I'm doing Lakers games. All the Nets fans come in there. I'm like, why are you in here? Unless both teams make the finals, they're not even going to meet. All I can say is that the Nets think the Lakers are making the finals. That must be what they're. Why else would they be in there? Maybe they go into Clipper streams and Jazz streams. I don't know. Kylie Petrano, thank you so much for coming, member. I really appreciate that. Brilly. Where my dog? Welcome to the dog pound, Kylie. Yo, where my dog pound members at? Welcome, Kylie, into the kennel, baby. Let's go. Dylan Alex, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it. Brilly says, I got you. New York Knicks fans and Nets fans are pissing me off right now. Y'all didn't exist 5 years ago. The Spurs have a 72-24 record against the Nets. Give me Manu, Duncan, Parker in their prime, and they are clapping this Nets team. There
you go. I don't know. Look, listen, Greg Popovich, in my opinion, might be the greatest coach of all time. So what he was able to do with that team was remarkable. So I would agree with him. Those great Spurs teams would beat this Nets team. I agree with
my biggest issue with the Nets is James Harden. I hate James Harden. I've always hated James Harden. Always. So that's my biggest issue with the Nets. I didn't have an issue with them before they got James Harden. Now I don't like the Nets because I don't like James Harden.
I've never liked James Harden either. That's
just me. I just say he's a rich man's Carmelo, so he'll never win anything. That's just he'll score a lot, he'll put up empty statistics, and he'll never win. A la Russell Westbrook. That's just what it is. John Madden, boom! What's going on? Thank you so much. Brilly says Knicks fans were talking trash back in 2019. What Knicks fan was talking trash in 2019?
I don't know any Knicks fans that were talking trash. I know Knicks fans that were hoping to get the guys that you got. That's not talking trash. We traded Kristaps Porzingis, and everybody said we got cap space. This must be what we're trying to do. Nobody was talking trash. Had we gotten those guys, maybe we would have talked trash. We didn't get them.
He says, I'm a Spurs fan, but it's hilarious seeing that sad franchise suffer longer, never won anything. I don't know why a Spurs fan would care about the Knicks. But I will say this, to say they never won anything, that's just not true. They won championships in 1970 and 73. So they did win something.
Yeah.
The only reason that you guys beat them in 99 is because Ewing was hurt. There you go. That's it.
Maybe some Knicks fans were talking trash.
I don't know any Knicks fan has been talking trash in the last 20 years. And
I was furious when they made the Porzingis trade, and I was crossing my fingers that they were going to be able to get, make something out of it with the cap space. But yeah.
Kylie, thanks so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. Brilly. Grew up a Jason Kidd Nets fan. So glad we got the NBA chip this year and love all the quarterbacks go early. If we get a steal at 11, come and give me O-line or Parsons. Let's not get carried away. We don't know if the Nets are going to win a chip this year.
By the way, I say this all the time. By no means do I think all Nets fans are bandwagons. I think there's tons of legitimate Nets. It's the same thing with the Mets. Like, if the Mets ever become better than the Yankees, the Mets will be more popular than the Yankees if it ever happens. For that 1 year,
when I was a kid,
it happened in the 80s. So I'm fully aware the Nets are going through what eventually, hopefully, the Mets go through. That means your team's doing well. So for the diehard Nets fans out there, I'm super happy for you guys. You guys have been through hell with your team, much like I have been with the Knicks. But I'm not blind to the fact that a lot of your fan base are people that are just hopping on because you got Kevin Durant.
I know. John Madden, thanks so much, man. I really appreciate it. Boom! Brilliant. He says Knicks fan. John Madden, I don't know which Knicks fans you're dealing with because I'll be honest, I lived in New York my whole life. I don't know any Knicks fans like this. He says Knicks fans act like the Lakers or the Yankees. Y'all have been losers Hopefully, KD embarrasses LaFraud and Frida Pinto in the finals. We'll see what happens in the finals, but I don't know. I don't know any Knicks fans that think the Knicks are the Lakers or the Yankees. I don't know any Knicks fans that think the Knicks are any good.
The Knicks aren't even the Mets. The Mets have a better history than the Knicks. I mean, come on. So
I don't know.
I don't think any Knicks fan thinks that they're popular, but I don't think I don't think any Knicks fan thinks we're near the. Like I said, the Mets are probably better than the Knicks historically.
Yeah, I don't know any Knicks fans talking trash. I don't know why a Knicks fan would talk trash.
Yeah.
New York Giants, thank you so much, man. Billy says, did you happen to see with Bellis's homer today? I did not. I did not see that. Did not see it. Go Eagles 99. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Billy says the Eagles aren't even sold. It hurts. There's an Eagles fan, by the way, saying that. He says that's why they traded back and got extra picks.
I agree. Go Eagles. I said that earlier today that maybe I don't want to say that they definitely don't believe in him. But, yeah, there were rumors that they were looking to trade up for Zach Wilson. And if those are true and they couldn't trade up, well, now I think their mindset is let's trade back. Let's get future draft capital. So if Hurts doesn't work out, we could take that draft capital, move up, and get Hurts' replacement. So I think it was almost insurance for if Hurts is not the guy going into 2022.
Jeremiah, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate it. Brilly. He says Nets fans. I don't know how this got into basketball all of a sudden. People are passionate about basketball. That is for damn sure.
You have a lot of Nets fans that are, I guess they're, I don't know, because they're upset that we I guess maybe because we say they're not New York's team. They're not. That's not the true Nets fans are the New Jersey fans.
I don't know. I'm just calling like I see it.
That's just facts.
They love the Knicks. They don't love the Nets. Go to the Barclays Center. So it's full of Knicks fans.
Yeah, I mean, I just call it how I see it, my man.
Vincent V. Brown, thank you so much, man. Billy says, why is Edwards attacking RJ, though? Caught me off guard. Youngin has to be humbled ASAP. I didn't see it. I didn't see that.
Yeah, I did see it. And Edwards came out and said that they were hoping that RJ Barrett took the last shot because they knew that he would miss. They were just trying to make sure that it was Randall that didn't get the ball, and they were praying that Barrett was the last. He was taking a shot at Barrett, which is ironic to me because that guy, Edwards, he had a wide open 15-foot jumper in the corner, nobody around him, and he shot an air ball with like 2 minutes to go. So it is what it is.
He's a rookie. What the hell is he talking shit? He's not even as good as Emmanuel Quickly. What is he talking shit for? Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. John Madden, boom! Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Brilliant. I don't know where Pat Summerall is. He says, remember when in 2010 the Knicks got LeBrick? No. And then in 2009 when they got Kyrie, or 2019 when they got Kyrie? No. KD and Zion. Nets are doing like my Spurs. LeBrick going to cry. Why is the Spurs defending the Nets?
I don't know.
I don't either.
They have no ties to the Spurs either.
And he keeps talking about LeBron. We'll see. If LeBron wins the championship, he will cry tears of joy. If the Lakers don't make the finals, I don't think LeBron's going to care about the Nets. But listen,
no.
If I lost in the finals, I would cry too. I don't know what to say. That you play the game to win championships.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Same colors. Maybe that's why. Amazing guy. You're right. The Spurs have the same colors as the Nets. Maybe that's why.
Maybe that's why. I don't know. I don't get the correlation there, but yeah, it is.
I think he's a Nets fan saying he's a Spurs
Maybe,
fan.
Yeah. It's John Madden. He can say whatever he wants. He's the greatest football announcer ever. Kareem made one of the greatest football games ever. Not as good as Tecmo Bowl, but very close. Kareem Hauser, thank you so much. Billy. He says, what do you do? What about do whatever you can to get Pitts and trade Evan Ingram during the draft and get a third and use a second and thirds on guards? I think that the Giants get a fourth for – I keep saying the Giants could get the Jags early fourth-round pick for Evan Ingram. I think that's as best as we could get.
Yeah. As far as do whatever you can, you're insinuating trading up to get Pitts. I'm not trading up for a tight end. I'm sorry. I don't care how good the guy is. I'm not trading up. I'm not giving up future first-round picks for Kyle Pitts. I'm not doing it.
I wouldn't do it either. As much as I want Kyle Pitts to be a Giant, I'm not trading up for a tight end. I'm not giving up picks. We're still trying to rebuild. I'm not giving up extra draft capital to move up a few spots to get Pitts. I would love Pitts. If the Giants had extra picks this year, not just 6 of them, maybe. But we only have 6 picks, and we need them all. Jeremiah, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Brilly says real Nets fans are from Jersey and New York.
There's definitely real Net fans from New York. It's just most of them are Knicks fans from New York.
I don't get that. I don't get how the Nets thing entered the conversation here tonight.
I don't know. It came out of nowhere.
It really did. And Dylan Alex, thank you so much. Brilly says the Spurs fan base does not claim John Madden. There you go. He does not claim John Madden. No, he does not. Yeah, we got time. Thanks so much, man. Really appreciate it. Brilly says when Shepard got moved outside wide receiver 2 ago, I thought it was a terrible idea. Glad this year he's going back into the slot. Hopefully he dominates.
I think Shepard will do really well this year. I still worry about the injuries, but I think Shepard will do really well with the addition of Galladay. And I think Slayton's going to do well if we don't add another wide receiver and he gets the opportunity on the outside.
I agree. I think that Shepard should ball out in the slot. Now that we have a true number 1 receiver and Darius Slayton can go back to being wide receiver number 2, Shepard could have a big year for the Giants.
And Barkley's back. Barkley's back too.
Right. So I love what the Giants have done. I'm ready for Giants football. I'm definitely ready. Grim, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Brilly. Worst case scenario at 11 within reason. One of the edge rushers.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's a worse case scenario than that. If they took Vera Tucker, if that was their preference, I wouldn't be upset with that. Maybe a reach on a wide receiver that's not deemed to be one of the top 3, but
Bateman maybe.
Yeah, maybe a guy like Bateman, but I would probably go with one of the edge rushers. I'm not in favor of taking an edge. Maybe a guy like Kwity Paye, something like that. I wouldn't be happy with that.
Right. Jordan Renan, my favorite beat writer. Brilly, he says, LaFraud fan. You hate LeBron James. The fraud fans just want the Lakers to win so they can claim he's the GOAT. Jordan is the GOAT, and hopefully LaFraud gets destroyed in the finals. So obviously,
I think Jordan Renan and who's the other guy?
John Madden.
I think they're the same person.
We got Jordan Renan and John Madden all killing the Knicks. Well, Jordan Renan killing the Lakers. This is what I say because I get this all the time in the Lakers streams. LeBron's a GOAT. And what I always say is this: it's generational. Whoever you grew up with, you deem the GOAT.
Oh, I'll say it right now. And I'm a big LeBron fan, by the way. I've been a big LeBron fan. I used to hate LeBron. I used to freaking hate LeBron when he did what he did to the Knicks in 2010. Not just the Knicks, just the league in general. How he drew it out, the decision, made it a spectacle. Then he has this WWF entrance with Miami. I used to hate LeBron. Now I've grown to appreciate LeBron because I feel like he's unappreciated because there's so many people that don't like the guy so much that they don't give him credit for how good of a player he is. When he retires, LeBron is going, I think some people at least will say, wow, I should have appreciated him more while he played. But I think he's the second greatest player ever. I don't even think he's close to Michael Jordan. He's not even close.
I always say Jordan. I grew up with Jordan. I said, but the people that grew up with Kobe, they'll tell you Kobe. People that grew up with LeBron will tell you LeBron. People that grew up with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar will tell you Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. People that grew up with Chamberlain will tell you Chamberlain. People that grew up with Russell will tell you Bill Russell. People that grew up with Magic Johnson or Larry Bird, they may tell you that. I really think it's generational. I think it's the same with NFL running backs. I think it's the same with quarterbacks. I think whoever you grew up watching, you will always lean towards that person. But I think anybody with any NBA sense knows that Jordan is the GOAT.
No. I agree. I'm not even going to be nice. I'm sorry. The LeBron is great. In terms of just pure talent, you might even be able to make an argument because LeBron is kind of like Magic and Shaq made a baby.
It really is.
Like he's built like a friggin' brolic when Shaq was not fat.
Yeah, maybe Karl Malone. I kind of compare him to Malone a little bit.
Yeah, but when like Shaq first entered the league and he was brolic,
yes.
like Shaq meets Magic. Like you basketball players shouldn't be built that way. You'll never see another player like him. Yeah, in my opinion at least. But he's not Jordan. Jordan had that killer instinct. He had that work ethic. And he was as clutch as hell, man. And the funny, and I say it all the time, the funniest thing to me, and this became a basketball stream, which I'm completely fine with. The funniest thing to me about Michael Jordan that I always hear from people is, oh, he only shot 32% from 3. He wouldn't be as good in this era. Do you not think this is a guy that got cut, by the way, by his junior varsity team, and he worked his ass off to become as good of a player as he did? Do you not think a guy that had the strongest work ethic in NBA history in today's era wouldn't have molded his game to be able to be a better three-point shooter, Michael Jordan would shoot 40% from downtown in this era because he would know that he'd need to adapt to the era. It's the dumbest argument I've ever heard. Michael Jordan and LeBron James is the second greatest player ever. They're not even close. Michael Jordan is far and away the best player ever.
You know what else Jordan would be doing? Shooting 40 free throws a night.
Yeah. Michael Jordan averaged 37 points a game when teams were putting up 90 points.
Yeah. That Knicks Heat game reminded me of like the late 90s Knicks Heat the other night, by the way.
And by the way, when Jordan played, you didn't get these. What do they call them when they get the rest day? What do they call that again?
Oh, load management.
You didn't get load management back then. Michael Jordan performed for 82 games,
and then another 30 in the playoffs, whatever it was.
And you didn't get beat up in today's era like you did when Michael Jordan played. Go back, watch the Pistons highlights when he played the Pistons.
I can tell you this: they weren't going to the table to look at a flagrant foul.
Yeah, it's not even close. Hey, LeBron and Jordan, it's not even cause.
Dylan, Alex, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Really, really. Says Chris, don't ever compare us to that Nets filth. I don't know how this became basketball. Vincent V. Brown, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Really, really. I think it's either wide receiver or O-line at this point. Unless Kyle Pitts is there.
Yeah. I think it's I agree with him though. I think it's O-line or wide. I'd say O-line or wide receiver. I think O-line's more realistic, but I could see a wide receiver.
What if Pitts is there?
I don't think he'll be there though. I just don't think.
What if he is?
If he's there, it's possible. Yeah. I saw somebody in the chat say, to be fair, MJ took a couple of years off. That was his load management. MJ didn't take a couple of years off because he was tired. He took a couple of years off because he was bored.
Because the NBA told him to take it off because his dad got killed because of his gambling debts.
MJ was so much better than everybody else. He just got bored.
Not only that, MJ went into Major League Baseball and became a very successful AA player.
Michael Jordan.
LeBron ain't doing that.
Yeah, it wasn't because it's not like Michael Jordan took 2 years or a year and a half off or whatever it was because he was tired. He was like, well, I conquered this sport. Patrick Ewing, one of the top 30 players of all time, never sniffed the ring because of me. Karl Malone never sniffed the ring because of me. John Stockton. Yeah. So and I'll end the LeBron debate right now. Does Michael Jordan lose an NBA Finals against Dirk Nowitzki, Jason Terry, and Jason Kidd in a wheelchair with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade as his teammates?
Does Michael Jordan get outscored by Jason Terry in the finals?
No.
Does Michael Jordan pass the ball off to J.R. Smith to take a final shot?
No, it's not. They're not even close. I'm
a Jordan guy. What can I say? But Mike Francesa, Billy, thank you so much. Says LeBron is the GOAT. Don't be disrespectful. Pound, as Philly 500 say, fist unit. Fisk is 29. It's generational. I told you.
Yeah.
Generational. Slickback, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Billy says, nah, Baddog. I grew up from Wilt, Magic, Bird, Jordan, and LeBron. Don't be nice to them. It's Jordan. Jordan's greatness was just unmatched. He's the GOAT. Listen, I guess for me and those streams, Slickback, I just don't want to have the argument. I don't want to have the debate. I'm trying to call a basketball game. These are different.
Oh, yeah. No, when you're calling a game, you just, yeah.
But I'm a Jordan guy. I say that all the time. I don't. He won 6 NBA Finals. They never went to a Game 7 in any of them. He won 6 Finals MVPs. The dude was he was great. He's Jordan. Jordan transcended everything.
Yeah.
Transcended everything.
Yeah.
He was ridiculous. And he was the most competitive guy ever, which is why he was so good. He wanted to win in practice. He ripped his own teammates in practice. He wanted to win at everything he did. Cards, golf. It didn't matter. It did not matter.
No.
He wanted to win everything. You know?
He's the best. He's the greatest.
Comrade Dog, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Billy says, love you guys. Favorite Giants Super Bowl wins?
42 for me against the undefeated Patriots.
25 for me against the Buffalo Bills. And more so because they were able to knock off the 49ers who were trying to three-peat that year. I think that was what was the most special about that 90 team for me was just the way they got there with a bunch of backups and a lot of grit. And they won ugly, and I loved it. John Turner, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Billy says, have a great night, guys. Chris, I didn't forget about you in wearing the Phillies jersey.
Not happening.
Watching a Gorilla and Kong before bed. Love you guys. Go Eagles. Johnny, you're the man. Thank you so much, brother. Really appreciate it.
Have a good one, John.
Johnny's the man.
He is.
New York Giants, thank you so much, man. Really. Ant Edwards can talk his shit. He's breaking records 24/7.
Is he?
I don't know who Ant Edwards is.
Anthony
Edwards. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Is he? I don't know.
I don't know. Listen, the T-Wolves are struggling. That's all I know. I don't know much about Anthony Edwards. I just know he's not as good as IQ. IQ's a man.
Yeah.
IQ's a little bit inconsistent, but
he's a rookie.
He's lightning at the bottom.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
He reminds you a little bit of Starks. Just better free throw shoot. But he's got a little bit of Starks in him. I like that.
I could see it a little bit. Yeah.
Vincent B. Brown, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. He says, I think Smith snaps like a twig in the NFL. Hope not.
I worry about that too. And that's why I thought he was good. Well, that's not the only reason. I legitimately feel like Waddle's just a better wide receiver. But when I did some research, when I first saw these mocks coming out and everybody had Devontae Smith at 3, I had him going 11. Everybody called me crazy. Well, now you see him going 11, 13, because I do think his size is a factor. And I just think Waddle's a better receiver. I know he had an unbelievable year, but that's because Waddle went down.
That's right. Waddle was a better player.
And he played in an Alabama scheme that he was wide open on a lot of these plays. I mean, it's really hard to judge a player in college, and maybe he'll prove me wrong. I think Devontae Smith could be great. He's a great route runner. I'm not saying he's a bad receiver. He's just my third favorite of the bunch.
I actually like Jalen Waddle more than I like Jamar Chase.
I'm a big Waddle guy.
Waddle's my favorite receiver in this draft.
Yeah,
I really like him a lot.
Yeah.
I've been calling him Solo. Grim Silo. I can't read Grim. Don't forgive me. I called him Grim Solo. I don't know how many times I Grim Silo. Sorry about mispronouncing your name the whole time. My eyes finally came back, I guess. Really, my man. He says LeBron 5 years ago could have been a top tight end of the NFL.
I agree with that.
He's the size for it, but can he run the routes?
Yeah,
can he hit? Listen, I love LeBron. I'm a big LeBron fan. I am a big LeBron, and I call the Lakers every game. LeBron cries a lot. LeBron gets hit in the NFL, he probably going to cry. LeBron don't like to get hit. That's a big reason I say Jordan's better, because people say Jordan couldn't play in this era, but I would like to have seen LeBron in that era. Charles Barkley and Charles Oakley and Dennis Rodman and Rick Mahorn and Shaq and Patrick Ewing and guys, and Karl Malone, guys that would crush your ass if you went into the paint.
I think he played great in that era, but I still don't think he's Jordan. I
don't think he would have been as great as he is in this era and that era.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Because he's only a career 33% three-point shooter. It's not like he shoots. And his free throw percentage is like 73. Jordan's is 85.
And in recent years, it's even been worse than that. He's been in the 60s, hasn't he? Like the last 3 or 4 years, LeBron?
He misses some big free throws. And again, I watch him every night, so I know. And I'm not knocking LeBron. He's just not Michael Jordan.
Second greatest player ever. I like LeBron. I feel like he's underappreciated. But I think like LeBron, what do they call him? The people that are obsessed with LeBron. Those people. Yeah, whatever they call them. Those
LeBron sexuals.
LeBron sexuals. Those people they take it to another level.
Listen, again, I love LeBron, but he's not Jordan. I don't know what to say. Nicky Sam, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Really. He says 21, and I pride myself on appreciating the older generations. Barry Sanders, the GOAT. Wins are not a quarterback stat. Tampa Bay has 18, or is that Tom Brady?
I'm guessing Brady.
Has 18 career wins with a defense that's not in the top 10. No order: Breeze, Peyton, Unitas, Marino, Rodgers. I'm still going Brady.
It's a good point he brings up, though, because I you can't debate. I mean, Brady's got 7 Super Bowls, but it is a good point that I understand that the quarterback is the most important position on a football field, and that's why. But we say it all the time, Baddog, on the show when people bring up the win-loss record with Eli Manning as to why he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Wins should not be a quarterback stat. I think you should evaluate a quarterback.
I agree with that.
More on just, it should apply for Super Bowls too, because people don't look at Super Bowls for Barry Sanders. People don't look at Super Bowls for, name another all-time great player at another position who never won. Adrian Peterson. So I know that the quarterback is more responsible for the Super Bowl. So I understand that it carries more weight. And I am not going to debate. Brady's got 7 Super Bowls. Brady's the greatest quarterback ever. But I understand where he's coming from with that.
Brady's a go.
Yeah.
I'm big. Listen, Brady is a big part of my retirement.
Yeah.
I always say it's business with Brady. It's nothing personal. But I'm glad that the Giants whooped his ass twice.
Yeah.
If he would have beat us twice, I'd probably hate him. But he didn't, so I don't mind him. Rolly, thank you so much. Really, really, really appreciate it. Says, I love LeBron, but he's not close to MJ. And in my opinion, Kobe is second, and LeBron is slightly under.
That I'll disagree with. But I respect everybody's opinion. That I will disagree with. I do have LeBron above Kobe.
Yeah, I have LeBron above Kobe, but not by much. Just because Kobe could never lead the league in assists. Like, that wasn't his game. LeBron led the league in assists last year at 35 years old. That's pretty impressive. LeBron is, I mean, maybe LeBron is the best overall, like the best as far as talent goes. He might even be more talented than Jordan, but it doesn't make you a better player.
I'm gonna also
give much more talented than Jason Witten. Don't make him a better tight end.
Yeah. And I'm also going to give LeBron credit for this. So just so people don't think I'm a LeBron hater, I just think Jordan's the greatest ever. Name a player in any of the four major sports that came into the league with more pressure starting out than LeBron James ever.
Yeah.
And he surpassed those expectations.
Yeah.
So that he deserves a lot of credit for that. LeBron James was, before he even stepped foot on an NBA court, people were saying he was going to be the next Michael Jordan. And he was 18 years old.
All I can say is this. I'm fortunate to have seen them both play their entire career.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate to have seen that. I am fortunate to have seen some of the greatest basketball players in the history of the game. I'm fortunate to live through a lot of really good eras, no doubt. Dylan, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. Really says LeBron played football in high school, and with his size, he would have been great in the NFL, in my opinion.
I think he made the right choice, though.
What's that?
I think he made the right choice not picking the NFL.
I think so, too. The Sports Pope, thanks so much, Mr. Francesor. Really. How many 70-win teams did Jordan beat? Well, it's not Jordan's fault that no team can win 70 games. He faced bums like the Pistons, Jazz, and Knicks, please. Plus LeBron's 2016 comeback counts as basically 2 rings. Oh, so when you come back from 3-1, it counts as 2 rings. So the fact Jordan never got down in a series, that works against him.
So we're going to fault Jordan. Wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is where the LeBron people lose me again, because this is an argument for them. We're going to fault Jordan because he didn't play in an era with pussies and instant gratification players that said, oh, let me team up with these two other. Is it okay if I team up with 3 other superstars so now we can couple together and get 70 wins? So we're going to fault Michael Jordan for not playing in that era where everybody teams up with everybody and everybody's buddies and it makes every other team bad outside of like 3 or 4 teams in the league. So we're going to fault him for that when LeBron is part of the problem. LeBron did the same freaking thing. He created super teams.
The Celtics created.
The Celtics did, but let me say this, and I agree, and even the Lakers before that with Gary Payton and Karl Malone when they joined Shaq and Kobe. But no player in the history of the NBA did it in their prime. There was at near a level that LeBron James was at. Garnett was out of his prime. Ray Allen was out of his prime. LeBron James was the greatest player in the sport who was just entering his prime. He was like 24, 25. And he said, I just want my easy ring. Let me go over to Wade. Let me go over to Bosh. Completely different situation. No player had ever done that in their prime. And he was the best player in the league. So we're going to fault Michael Jordan because players in his era weren't pussies. And they didn't team up with everybody. So they created 70-win teams when LeBron James was part of that problem as well. That is a dumb argument.
How many wins did the Phoenix Suns have in 1993? It was quite a bit. It was a 62, 63 wins. It's not like Jordan played bums like Charles Barkley in his prime in 1993 in Phoenix. That's not a bum. This 1996 Seattle Supersonics were not bums.
Yeah.
Okay. The 1990s Knicks did not have a lot of talent, but they played extremely tough. I don't understand how you fool Jordan because he was on a 70-win team, and that 72-win team won the whole damn thing. If anything, criticized Curry and Klay Thompson, and was Kevin Durant on that team too, for not winning that damn title. When you're up 3-1.
Yeah. Well, no, he wasn't on that team. Durant.
He's another one.
This just amplifies the pussy era. Durant was the team that had them on the ropes 3-1. And then the Warriors came back and beat them 4-3. And then they ended up losing to LeBron in the finals. And Durant said, I was up 3-1 on them, but we couldn't beat them. So let me just join them so I get a guaranteed ring. So how are you going to fault Michael Jordan for not being able to beat 70-win teams when this era is creating 70-win teams because it's just 3 all-star teams and the rest of the teams are mediocre?
How many other 70-win teams are there? None. The Warriors, and that was it.
Well, yeah, but there's teams with 65, 70, close to 70.
No. So how many 50-some-odd team, or 50-win odd teams did Jordan lose to in the finals? Because LeBron's lost to quite a few of them, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, I'm telling you this, Jordan's Bulls would have killed the Mavericks.
Oh, they would have destroyed him. They would have destroyed him. I
don't know how the else became basketball.
I love it.
I'll tell you what, basketball fans are passionate. They're passionate.
Listen, I'm not scared to share my opinion.
People hate LeBron James.
I like LeBron James.
But people hate him.
Yeah.
They really hate him. Like they freaking when doing those Lakers streams, I get people come in there and they just rip LeBron. They don't care about the Lakers. They just rip LeBron constantly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny. I don't care. It's a fun conversation. You can always debate it. That's why it's fun. But yeah, I'm gonna do it. Rolly, thanks so much, man. I appreciate it, brother. Brilly, my man. He says, I'm a Waddle fan, but this size thing with Smith is being blown out of proportion. A Giant fan brought up a good comparison for Smith, which was Isaac Bruce, and he was right as far as size and weight.
I agree with you. I'm not. I think he could. When I say that, it's not even so much that I'm super concerned about his size and weight. I think I could see teams being concerned with it. But I think he could be. I definitely think he could be a great receiver. His biggest strength is his route running. As long as you can create separation off the line of scrimmage, you get him in motion. I worry a little bit about bumping him up at the line of scrimmage, but you get creative, you put him in motion, you put him in the slot. The guy's a great route runner. I think he's going to be a very good wide receiver.
In my opinion, route running is the most important thing as an NFL wide receiver anyway.
Yeah.
And that's why I've always used John Ross as the poster boy. You can run as fast as you want, but doesn't make you a great receiver. Darius Hayward Bay, there's a bunch of them that ran really fast but can't play in the NFL. CeeDee Lamb ran a 4.52. He's the best receiver to come out of the draft last year because of his route running, because of his hands, because of his catch radius. There's a lot of things that receivers need to do besides run fast.
Yeah.
Route running is always going to create separation over straight-on speed. It just is. So being able to get off the line, being able to run crisp routes and turn and, be able to do all that stuff, turn on a dime, not round out your routes, that's the type of stuff that makes you successful in the NFL, which is why I love CeeDee Lamb. And listen, so Eagle fans, they think I hate on Hurts because he's an Eagle. I love CeeDee Lamb as a Cowboy. It had nothing to do with where they went. It had to do with me, the way I felt about him when they played at Oklahoma. Jeremiah, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Brilly. We'll be live for like another 10 minutes and we'll wrap up this basketball stream. He says, everyone just calm down and relax. Jordan is the GOAT. It's okay. We love Bron and Kobe all the same. And I do. Yeah.
That's all. Jeremiah, I love LeBron. I shouldn't say. I respect LeBron's game. I think he's an incredible talent. I think we'll never see another player like him. Just don't compare him to Jordan. Jordan's the greatest ever.
Like I said, I'm blessed that I got to watch all of them play.
Yeah.
The primes. I got to watch Jordan from the very beginning of his career, Kobe, LeBron, all of them. I got to watch all of them from the beginning of their career. So I've been there all the time, which is why I say a lot of younger guys will say LeBron. I'm like, well, you never saw Jordan play, so how can you judge? I have seen them all play. So I'm a little bit more qualified to make the determination because I have seen all of them play.
Yeah.
LeBron's great. Nobody's saying LeBron's not great. He is. I say he's the greatest player of this generation.
Yeah.
Ricky, thank you so much. Appreciate it, brother. Brilly. Hey, guys, love both your channels. Baddog, you got me through the pandemic while working, filling medical gases for the hospitals. Would you guys reach for Eric Tucker if Slater fell off the board 11? Well, Ricky, I appreciate that. We were able to get you through the pandemic.
Yeah, appreciate it, Ricky.
You guys got us through the pandemic, too, so don't ever sell yourself short. I wouldn't go Vera Tucker. I would go somewhere else, but that's just me.
I like Vera Tucker, Ricky. It depends on who's on the board for me. What I'll say, Ricky, is I won't be upset if they take Vera Tucker. I think he could be a really good offensive lineman. So I don't know. He's probably not the guy I would take, but if they took him, I'd completely understand the pick.
Yep. Nikki, thanks so much, man. Really appreciate it, brother. Brilly says, I want a Waddle when we didn't have Kenny Golladay because Waddle is better against press. Now we have that X wide receiver, so Smith can play his natural spot at the Z wide receiver.
It's a good point. And I think I think at this point, one thing I will say, and I like Waddle better, and I think you do too, Nick. He's a big Alabama fan. But based off the wide receiver core we have now, I actually think that Devontae Smith's a better fit for our core right now. So I kind of agree with what you have to say there.
Yeah. I'm happy with any of them.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out. That's just I hope Dr. I mean, he's a doctor. He should be able to figure it out. Dylan, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Really says, I love Bron, but MJ never played with Anthony Davis, caliber teammate. MJ's dad died in 93, left the NBA. The next season, he would have won 8 straight rings. I agree with that. He would have won 8 in a row.
Yeah, definitely would have.
I agree with that. Michael Jordan never played with once he did play with a couple of superstars in Pippen and Rodman. They won 72 games and they won the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Jordan wasn't chasing that. They all came to the Bulls. He didn't play on 3 different teams in his career.
It's just different eras.
He did go to the Wizards at the end of his career, and that was just the Bulls didn't want him anymore.
He just wanted to play. I mean, he was
he wasn't chasing a ring with the damn Wizards. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
Rolly, thank you so much. Was Gilbert Arenas, the Hibachi, was he on those teams? Where did Hibachi play?
No, I don't think Arenas was on that team. I think that was Kwame. I think Kwame Brown was on that team. They had a bad team. Kwame Brown, I think, was on that team, and they had Corey Alexander. It was a really bad team. Those Wizards teams.
And Jordan,
maybe Drew Gooden was on it. Maybe
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
Rolly, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Really says Chris straight, 100% straight. Pussy era. The new era basketball is soft. The softness of basketball represents how soft this world is nowadays. Pathetic. There's definitely not a lot of banging in the NBA anymore.
I didn't even mean it from a physical, but yes, it is definitely much less. I didn't even mean it from that standpoint. I meant it from like a mental standpoint. Like players just want the guaranteed instant gratification. Let me just team up and DeMarcus Cousins going to the super team, Kevin Durant going to the super.
Rolly's right. That is today's.
No, I agree. It's much less physical
gratification today. They don't want to work for it.
Yeah,
they just want it immediately, and if they don't get it, it's somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
That's true. Well, Rolly, we all know you and I are related somehow, and we're both older guys. So,
yeah,
we're a lot of that stuff, but we're old heads. That's where it goes. Different generation, man. And when my parents were old heads and I was young, I was like, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Blah 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 blah. That's every generation. These kids today that are 18, 19, 20 years, they're going to be our age, and they're going to have a group of 18, 19-year-olds telling them you don't know what the hell you're talking about. It's just that's the way it goes. That's life.
Yeah.
Tutto Grazie, Paisano Brilly says, how are a bottle of Bud Light and the Philadelphia Eagles fans alike? They are both empty from the neck up. That is true for most part. My friend Cesar, Brilly. He says, Jordan, how did this become basketball tonight? He says, Jordan Sexuals can't admit that Jordan couldn't win until he got Pippen and Rodman. Well, he won 3 rings without Dennis Rodman, so that's incorrect.
Horace Grant, yeah.
Yeah, it was Grant, and but not Rodman. Rodman came in 96. Jordan was just a ball hog, and he choked all the time against the Pistons.
The Pistons were just a much better team. Jordan was on a horrible team outside of Jordan before they got Pippen.
From what I remember, Scottie Pippen bowed out with a migraine headache and let them down, from what I remember. And he actually did beat the Pistons. He swept them in 89, and the Pistons walked off the court without shaking their hands. I remember that too. So he actually did beat those Pistons, and they kicked their ass. That's what happened. They didn't like it. Those Pistons teams are amazing, and I loved those Pistons teams. The Knicks modeled themselves after those Pistons teams. I love those Pistons teams. I hate Isaiah Thomas with a passion.
Yeah.
That's what he did to the Knicks. I liked him when he played. Lambeer, I always thought he was kind of funny. But I like those teams. I like that tough, gritty.
Joe Dumars.
Vinnie Johnson. I love Chuck Daly, Rick Mahorn. I like those teams.
That was a great team. Yeah,
they were great teams. That's why they won back-to-back titles. They were freaking amazing. Where are we? Slickback, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Billy says, Mike, you must be young, man. Karl Malone, Stockton, Gary Payton, Patrick Ewing, Charles Barkley, Clyde Drexler, Reggie Miller, Alonzo Mourning. Bums.
I could keep going if you want. You didn't mention David Robinson. You didn't mention Shaquille O'Neal. You didn't. Who else? Jason Kidd was 93. I'm sure there's a lot more I could name there that are Hall of Famers. So yeah, there was a lot of great players in there. It's silly when people bring that up.
Yeah.
Gary Payton. Oh, he said Gary Payton. Sean Kemp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that Portland 92 Trailblazers team, they were in the finals a couple times.
Clyde Drexler. Oh, there he has him there. Yeah.
But the Trailblazers were a very good team.
Yeah.
Very good team. And
Yeah.
so Supersonics. And yeah, it wasn't easy coming up. The Cavs weren't even. They had Brad Daugherty. They had Mark Price. They were not a bad team. Craig Elo. They were not a bad team either.
Yeah. Mark Price is a great player.
The East was incredibly tough in that era. The West.
Dominique
Wilkins. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
East was very tough. So when he got to the finals, he earned it.
Yeah.
East was very tough. Irish to the Rover, thanks so much, man. Appreciate it. Really, really. Kevin, Chris, thanks for a great night of New York sports. I could do without the Nets shit, but you guys rock. Happy Easter. Irish, we appreciate it. I don't know how it became basketball.
Whatever, it is what it is. It was fun to talk about it, though.
It was. Interesting how that just turned on. I don't even know how I got started. Vincent B. Brown, man, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Really, really. Anyway, Jones and Saquon both stay healthy this year. Pray to God.
There's definitely a chance, but obviously you worry about it. I was going to make a video on this, actually. I still might. Like, my 5 biggest worries going into the season, most people would say the offensive line. My number one is health, because there's a lot of our key players on this team that have health problems. Jones, Barkley, Galladay. Adoree Jackson. So that's Shepard. Yeah. Ingram. Yeah. So that's my number one concern going into this year is health, because I think there's a lot of guys with health concerns on this team.
Sabrina, thank you so much, my lady. I really appreciate it. Really, really. Garnett drafted at 95, Allen 96, Pierce by the Celtics in 98. The big three formed in 2007. But you got to remember, Garnett was 19 in 1995.
So he's 31 though. 31 when he went.
That's not really past your prime in the NBA though.
I
think you're on your prime there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you start at 18, it's close. But let's put it this way: he was with Minnesota for 13 years before he did that.
It's not like he was there for 4 years and he took off.
Yeah,
7 years. Yeah,
big difference.
He wasn't 25.
Yeah, big difference.
But that is always what I remember. And then I remember they were trying to come up with a nickname. They had those ESPN commercials. They were trying to come up with a nickname. And the guy said the Boston 3 Party.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But. Yeah. So listen, guys, girls, I just want to say again, thank you all so much for just an amazing stream. I don't know how the last hour became basketball. So sorry about that for any, Giants fans. I don't know. I really don't know how that happened, but
we probably said something about the Nets and Nets fans took offense.
I don't know what happened. It was really
and it spiraled out of control. It is what it is. It happens. You get random things in the stream. I just want to answer Rolly's question real quick. He says, Chris, you're going to be pissed if, the Giants don't pick up the 5th-year option to Saquon Barkley. Yes. It has nothing to do with keeping Saquon Barkley or long term. I think it'd be stupid not to pick
$1 million. It's actually less than paying him now.
It's less than what he's getting paid now, and it gives you the ability, you could also potentially trade him by giving him that 5th-year option. I think it makes it easier to trade him or extend him. I don't know if I'm in favor of keeping him long term yet or not. I need to see if he stays healthy, but I absolutely think they need to pick up the 5th-year option.
One thing I can say about the stream is that we really didn't lose anybody once the basketball stuff started, which was kind of fun. I mean, obviously, as the time goes along, people thin out, but there was still like 550 people in there up until about 2 minutes ago. So
some people like the basketball talk, I guess.
I do. Jeremiah, thank you so much for the super chat, my man. Appreciate you, brother. Brilly. He says, dope stream YouTube. That's how I know he's older, because he said dope. That's back in my day. MC Hammer was talking about being dope. I remember that.
Yeah.
Young MC was talking about being dope. Tone Loke.
Too legit to quit.
Right, I remember all that stuff. I'm old. But he says, Giants stink. But Jeremiah, you're the man. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. What did Grant say? If you drink 2 gallons of beer, 2 hog mollies would be great for your masculinity. If I drink 2 gallons of beer, I'd be passed out under my table. I'd be done. I can't drink that much beer. That's what, 128 ounces? How many beers is that? That's not much. No,
10 beers. 10 beers.
Oh, that's more than that. 64 ounces is 2 liters. That's not a gallon. I think a gallon's 128 ounces. The metric.
Oh, it's 2 gallons. Okay, I thought you said 1 gallon.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not drinking that much.
That's 25 beers. That's 25 beers.
I'm not drinking that much.
Yeah.
4 pints, 64 ounces.
Yeah.
That's half a gallon. Half a gallon. Ash Money, thanks so much. Appreciate it. Brilly. Bad Dog and Chris. What's up, y'all? Ash Money, we're just getting ready to wrap it up. He says, Bad Dog, who do you want at 11? And who do you think is our most likely pick? Kyle Pitts, most likely pick, Rashawn Slater.
Yep. And most likely pick, I agree, Rashawn Slater.
Who do you want to pick? If you could choose anybody.
Penny Sewell.
Okay. Chris is all about the Hogs.
I'm all about the Hogs. I know everybody wants those flashy pieces. I still know we gotta build up those trenches for the flashy pieces we brought in to perform properly. So I want
for me, it's just like last year. I preferred Isaiah Simmons, but I certainly had no problem with the offensive line because I knew how important that was. And it's the same thing this year. I want Kyle Pitts. I know he's a luxury. I just feel like with how much we and the offensive line has something to do with this too. But I just feel like with how much we struggled inside the red zone, I just think having Kyle Rudolph and Kyle Pitts and Saquon Barkley and
how about Galladay? Yeah, Galladay.
And Sterling Shepard in the slot. I just feel like that's and Daniel Jones' mobility. I just feel like that is unstoppable. No matter how good or bad your offensive line is, I just think like that's too much for a defense to handle. So maybe I get giddy thinking about that. But if they go Rashawn Slater, if Penei Sewell fell there, I'd be ecstatic because I know that offensive line is extremely important. In every Giants Super Bowl, they've had good defenses, but they've also had great offensive lines, every one of them. So I know
a great offensive line, I say it all the time, is a defense's best friend.
Yeah, because you got those nice 8-9 minute drives.
Yeah.
It's huge for a team. But we're going to get out of here, guys. And again, we still have 460 people in here. So one last time, if you haven't done so, please make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you go into the description, sum up the Entertaining Talking Sports right there, over there. There's links there. We'll be on the channel next week doing the same show. Not a lot of Giants stuff to talk about. Maybe it is basketball talk again. Who knows? But one thing I do want to do, and it's got to be on Chris's channel because my computer, I only have one screen, so I won't be able to do this. But I do want to do a mock draft, one of these shows with you.
Oh yeah, maybe not next week, but maybe the next show that'll be on my channel after that. Yeah, because that'll be.
We'll do one of those. And obviously, as the draft gets much closer,
the
basketball talk will obviously be weighted out. I don't know how that happened. It was fun though. I mean, I had fun talking about it.
I had fun. I mean, right now, if we're being honest, it's just speculate. There's no rumors right now. We're still a month away from the draft, so it was cool to talk about something else. Didn't plan on it, but it kind of spiraled out of control. But yeah, this isn't going to be the norm.
That was actually pretty funny. Taco Nacho, thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. Brilly. How pissed would you be if no O-line 1 and 2? Chris might be mad. I wouldn't. I
don't know if I would be pissed. I would be concerned. I would be concerned. I'll say that. But, I can't say I'd be pissed. It depends on who we drafted. Like, if they doubled up on, like, defense or if they got a wide receiver and a great edge rusher prospect, I'm going to trust the coaching staff to get the most out of these players. But I think what it does is it puts a lot of pressure on Rob Sale, the new offensive line coach. I think it puts a lot of pressure on Dave Gettleman. And it's why I'm pretty sure we're going to go offensive line. I go back to it all the time. Maybe not in the first, maybe in the second, but I go back to it all the time. And it's why I was sure they were going to, whether it was free agency or the draft, I knew they were going to bring in a premium wide receiver because Dave Gettleman knows his job and his reputation rests on the shoulder of Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
And if there's still major question marks to this offensive line, to me, it only makes sense for Dave Gettleman to be like, well, I better make sure I just brought in all these weapons. My job rests on Daniel Jones. I better make sure I can protect this guy. So it's why I'm pretty confident we're going with an offensive lineman in one of the first 2 rounds.
I'll take Creed Humphrey in the second round. I'm fine with that. But,
yeah.
Nikki Sav, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Brilly. Chris got my night shift tonight. Can I expect the usual vid when I wake up at 5 p.m. tomorrow?
Yes, Nikki. Today I took off because there wasn't a whole lot to talk about, but I am going to be working on my 6-round mock draft tomorrow. That will be up. I already started on it today. So I think I'm up to round 4. So I will have that video up tomorrow. And if anything else, significant, I'll have 2 videos up, but I'll definitely have that video up tomorrow.
Then he says needs an order outside or a lineman, offensive outside linebacker, Devontae. My girlfriend still wants Devontae.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think for sure the first 2, wouldn't mind a middle linebacker. And another one that I want to put it like towards the back that I don't want to forget about, running back. I think we could use a different in the later rounds. Like I'm talking the 6th. maybe even the fourth, whatever. But I think we could use a different type of spice in that backfield, a different type of running back. I feel like we could use. So, especially with Barkley, we don't know if he's going to be 100% to start the year. I would like to draft a running back this year, but later in the draft.
Absolutely. But all right, we're going to 12:25. Got to get out of here. Again, thank you guys so much for being here. I really do appreciate all the support. Again, it's going to be fun. We're getting towards the draft. The draft is going to be awesome. I can't wait to do that with you, Chris. That's going to be so much fun. We had so much fun with it last year. This year it's going to be even better. And this Giants season is going to be fantastic as well. There's no doubt about that. I am looking forward to football season. Like I said, I've said this a lot. Every year I'm looking forward to football season, but I'm going to enjoy baseball and I'm going to enjoy the summer, and I'm still going to do those things. But with the Giants, it was always more with my heart than my head. This year, I'm confident that this is going to be a good Giants team, and we are going to compete for this division title, and there's a good chance that we win it. I love what they did. I love what they're going to do. I'm looking forward to what else we can add in the draft, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to share that with you, and it's going to be fun to share that with – last year we had like 3,000 people in there, so it's going to be fun to do that again.
Yeah. I can't get to that super chat and then
Dylan, thanks so much for the super chat, brother. Appreciate it, really. Can you guys do a mock draft collab with Jets Central?
I mean, I'm open. I mean, it's going to be Giants specific probably, so I don't know how interested he would be in doing it. But I'm going to do I'm going to do other live mock drafts on my channel. I'm trying to get other YouTubers outside of the Giants community. If he's open to it, I would do it. But I'm definitely going to be reaching out to other guys I've worked with in the past that aren't just Giants YouTubers. I want to get different teams, different minds on the channel. So I definitely have more stuff like that. But as far as the Giants go this year, yeah, I mean, I said it in my video yesterday. I have playoff expectations for this team this year, and I think what they did in free agency, yeah, it adds to the pressure. And again, I'm going to be realistic. I'm not going to be one of these fans that's going to say Daniel Jones has to throw 35, 40 touchdowns. No. I'm not going to be one of these fans that's going to say they got to win 11 or 12 games. No. But do I expect them to compete to make the playoffs with a realistic record? Yes. I'm not going to be satisfied with a 6-win year where you could have made the playoffs if the Eagles would have won the game. No. I need to see 9 wins this year. I'm going to say between 9 and 11, but I want to see at least 9 wins. I want to see a winning season. And I want to see them beat good teams this year. We beat one last year. I want to see them beat a few good teams. I want to see them close out games. And I want to see Daniel Jones progress. That's what I expect this year with the weapons that we provided him with. Now my biggest question is the offensive line. But, yeah, this should definitely be a better team. Second year in the scheme on both sides. Joe Judge, a head coach I really believe in. And I'm excited for this year. I think the Giants, for the first time, I think Giants fans could go into this year with high I'm not going to say super high, but high expectations.
Yeah, winning expectations. And think about it. We were 6-10 last year. We were every game except for that San Francisco game and maybe the game against Cleveland. We were in every one of those games. We were in every one of those games. We beat Seattle with a backup quarterback. We had no Saquon Barkley 14 and a half games out of the year. They did not have any preseason training camp. They had none of that stuff and had a whole new coaching staff. They had 3 rookies start on their offensive line at some point during the year. They had no number 1 wide receiver. This year, everybody's got acclimated to the system. Everybody's going to have training camp. We have Kenny Golladay. We got Adoree Jackson. We have a wide receiver number 2. We had the whole DeAndre Baker debacle last year. So we had no cornerback. Xavier McKinney will be healthy this year. The Giants are already a better team on paper. Their schedule is much easier this year than it was last year. There's no reason to believe that this team can't win 10 games. That's my expectation. Chris and I said this in 2019. And you go back and watch those shows. We thought 2020, no, that's not our year. 2021 is the year that we're going to look at. Both Chris and I predicted the Giants go 6-10 last year.
2018, we said that. Pretty much. We pretty much said when we first started the show, we were kind of saying 2021, that'll be the year where we could start to really I'll say before the 2019 season, after we drafted Daniel Jones. I think that was our mindset. So
NYB, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Brilly, my man. Thank you for the 2. And then I was waiting for Sergio. He just got in under the gun. Brilly, what up, babes? Give me a blow. I don't know what that is, but
I don't know what that is either. Sergio needs Jesus.
Yeah. Sergio needs an exorcism is what he needs. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. Again, I just want to say, Chris, thank you for coming on the channel tonight. Really do appreciate it. And, of course, all you guys and girls in the chat, you guys are unbelievable. Thank you for all the support tonight. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you for all the support on all the shows, the streams, the videos. It means the world to us. So thanks. Words can never express how much you guys and girls mean to us. We don't do this without you. We don't do the videos without you. My ass isn't getting 4 hours of sleep a night and staying up to 1 o'clock in the morning streaming without your support. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, man. I really appreciate it. You guys and girls are unbelievable. I say it all the time. You're too good to me. And I can never appreciate you. So thank you very much.
Yeah, same thing, man. I mean, it's a broken record, but I try to say it as much as I can. Thank you guys for all the support you always show on my channel. Thank you guys for pushing me to work as hard as I do. Love doing this every week. Love continuing to make videos for you guys, going live, talking sports. And without you guys, there's no reason to do it. So thank you guys for everything that you do for both of us. You guys have a great rest of your night, and we'll see you guys soon.
All right. For the Entertaining Talking Sports, it's a bad day to Dizzle. We are gone. Peace.